Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a reaction on both Leona and Diana. We're going to do a double feature here because they're so interconnected as champions and their lore and everything, so I thought I'd do a double feature this week. We're starting off with Leona, the Radiant Dawn. If this is your first time here to the channel, what we do is we look at the biography and stories first, we move on to the gameplay abilities, then we check out any cinematics that they might have. We'll look at the skins and the fandom wiki and finally end off with any voice lines and special interactions at the very end. All right, starting off with the biography for Leona, we have the quote, "By the light of the sun, the world is beheld." And then role is tank, region is Targon. I think I knew all that information. Related champions is Diana, Tarek, Aurelian Soul, and Pantheon. Okay. Yeah, Leona has a lot of, basically it's all Targon people. A lot of relations with Targon people. All right, the paragraph says, imbued with the fire of the sun, Leona is a holy warrior of the Solari who defends Mount Targon with her zenith blade and the shield of daybreak. Oh, dude, those weapons sound insane. Her skin shimmers with starfire while her eyes burn with the power of the celestial aspect within her. Armored in gold and bearing a terrible burden of ancient knowledge, Leona brings enlightenment to some, death to others. Cool. That's a pretty badass paragraph to introduce this champion. Among the Racker tribes that dwell upon Mount Targon, the sun is sacred and none venerate it more than the Solari. Children are raised from birth to honor it and even to shed blood for it until its aspect returns, heralding a grave threat they all must face. Leona was one such child. She took to the Solari faith as naturally as breathing, finding solace and warmth within its rigid structure. This manifested through her rapid achievement of excellence, her peers envious of her capability, willpower, and devotion. None doubted she would one day become one of the Raharak, the holy warriors of the Solari. Though Leona flourished, she could not help but see her master struggle with their most exasperating student, an orphan named Diana. Okay, Diana's getting mentioned in this. Her curiosity was welcome at first, but soon the teachers began to perceive Diana's questions as challenging the Solari ways. Leona watched Diana suffer punishment and isolation, but where others saw insolence, she saw a lost soul devoted to a search for meaning. Leona found her purpose in the Solari teaching and resolved to share it with Diana, as even the most dutiful teachers forsook her. The two would debate late into the night, with Leona hoping to persuade Diana that everything she could ever want was there in the faith, waiting for her to accept it. Though she failed to win Diana over, Leona did find a friend. One night, Diana confided a secret to Leona. She spoke of discovering a hidden alcove in the mountain, an ancient place where the walls were etched with depictions of strange symbols and forgotten societies. When Diana mentioned climbing the summit of Mount Targon to learn more, Leona urged her to stop. Seeking to protect her from the ire of the other Solari, Leona made Diana promise to abandon this search. Reluctantly, Diana agreed. Okay. Time passed and the two never spoke of Diana's discovery again. Leona believed her friend had finally come to her senses. Her belief was shattered late one night when she glimpsed Diana slipping out of the temple. While her first instinct was to tell the elders, Leona thought instead of protecting her friend, wresting her back from the edge, resolved, Leona set off after Diana to the summit of Mount Targon. The ascent was a trial unlike any Leona had ever endured, straining every fiber of her being to its limit and beyond. Her training, willpower, and concern for Diana was all that drove her on. Okay, that really shows a good friend. The unblinking eyes of bodies frozen into the mountain slopes watched her climb. Oh wow, that's kind of terrifying. Their own journeys forever incomplete, but not even they could deter her. After what seemed an eternity and much to her own amazement, Leona reached the peak. Exhausted, she beheld an uncanny landscape and found Diana engulfed in a coruscating column of silver light. Leona saw her friend's silhouette writhing in agony, the air rippling with her screams. Oh god. Horrified, Leona rushed to her aid when a golden radiance slashed down from the heavens to envelop her. The sensation was indescribable, but rather than incinerating Leona, the illumination coursed into her, suffusing her with incredible power. She clung to her consciousness, fighting the current, seeking to sear away her very being. Okay, so this is them getting the aspects. Ultimately, her indomitable will triumphed, and with that control came understanding. With control came understanding. Leona was forever changed, imbued by the aspect of the sun. Destiny had selected her, and it was her duty to protect the Solari in the times to come. And this is where you get the divide, isn't it? It was then that Leona saw Diana, clad in gleaming silver warplate, a strange reflection of the golden armor she discovered herself now wearing. Diana begged Leona to join her, to seek out answers the Solari could not offer. Leona demanded they return home and present themselves for the priest's judgment. Neither conceded, and they finally felt the weight of the weapons in their hands. Their combat was swift, a blistering clash between sun and moon, ending with Diana's crescent blade at Leona's throat. But rather than delivering the killing blow, Diana fled. Devastated, Leona descended Targon and hurried to the elders. Yeah, dude, that's so sad. When she arrived, she found slaughter. Many Solari priests and their Raharak guardians were dead, seemingly slain by Diana's hand. Oh, and that's not going to make Leona like Diana anymore after that. The survivors were awed by the presence of two aspects now in their midst, and Leona was committed to helping them navigate this new reality, the guiding light to her people, just as the sun had always been. She has sworn to find Diana to preserve the dominance of the Solari, but also to help her old friend control the moon aspect's power before it destroys her. Wow. That was a great biography. We really learn, I mean, we learn how they get their aspect powers, right? And we learn that they're very close friends, but now they're like opposites now, right? Like they really are not friends with each other anymore because they kind of can't be. Leona probably still wants to be, and Diana definitely wants to be, but like Leona kind of seems stuck in her ways, right? I don't know though. All right, our story is called The Lightbringer. The raiders attacked before dawn. 50 wolf lean men in iron hauberks mantled with strange furs and bearing ash-dulled axes. Their steps were swift as they entered the settlement at the foot of the mountain. These were men who had fought as brothers for years, who lived in the heartbeat between life and death. A warrior in battered scale armor and bearing a heavy-bladed greatsword over his shoulder led them. Beneath his dragon helm, his face was bearded and raw, burned by a lifetime of war-making under a harsher sun than this. Okay, so basically we got like 50 pretty scary men coming. The previous settlements had been easily overcome, little challenge for men weaned on battle. The spoils were few and far between, but in this strange land, a man took what he could get. This one would be no different. Sudden light flared ahead, sunlight gleaming brightly. Impossible. Dawn was an hour or more away. We're about to see Leona F these dudes up. The leader raised a calloused hand as he saw a lone figure standing athwart the settlement street. He grinned as he saw it was a woman. Finally, something worth plundering. Okay, dude. Light inflamed her, and the grin fell from his face as he stepped closer and saw she was clad in an ornate war plate. Auburn hair spilled from a golden circlet, and sunlight glinted from her heavy shield and long-bladed sword. Oh, that's such a badass entrance. More warriors emerged from the street, taking their place to either side of the woman, each gold armored and bearing a long spear. These lands are under my protection, she said. Leona lifted her sword as the 12 warriors of the Raharok formed a wedge with her at their center. 6 to either side, they swung their shields and hammered them down as one. Oh, that's so cool. Leona made a quarter turn and locked her own shield into place at the apex. Her sword slid into the thrust groove beneath the shield's bladed halo. She flexed her fingers on the leather-wound grip of her sword, feeling the surge tide of power within her, a coiled fire that ached to be released. Leona held it within her, letting it ease into her flesh. Embers flecked her eyes and her heart pounded in her chest. The being she had joined with atop the mountain longed to burn these men with its cleansing fire. Dude, that's cool. This is like a really good description of Leona. Like, that makes her really scary. Dragon Helm is the key. Kill him and the rest will falter. Part of Leona wanted to give the power in her free reign, wanted to scorch these men to smoldering bone and ash. Their attacks had killed scores of people who called the lands around Mount Targon home. They had defiled the sacred places of the Solari, toppling sacred sunstones and polluting the mountain springs with their excretions. Oh, wow. Dragonhelm laughed and swung his greatsword from his shoulders as his men moved away from him. To fight with such a huge weapon and keep it in constant motion needed space. He yelled something in a guttural tongue that sounded more like animal barks than anything human, and his warriors gave an answering roar. Leona let out a hot breath as the raiders charged, their braided beards flecked with frothed spittle as they pounded toward the Raharok. Leona let the fire into her blood, the feeling the ancient creature merge its essence with hers more completely, becoming one with her senses and gifting her with perceptions not of this world. Whoa. Dude, this, like, whoever wrote this is kind of crazy. Time slowed for Leona. She saw the pulsing glow of each enemy's heart and heard the thunderous drumbeat of their blood. To her, their bodies were hazed within the red fires of battle lust. Dragonhelm leapt forward, his sword hammering Leona's shield with a stone titan's fist. The impact was ferocious, buckling the metal and driving her back a full yard. The Raharok stepped back with her, keeping the shield wall unbroken. Leona's shield blazed with light, and the dragon's helm's mantle of fur smoldered in its furnace heat. His eyes widened in surprise as he hauled his enormous sword back for another strike. Brace and thrust, she yelled as the rest of the raiders hit their line. Man, I want to see this as a cinematic. I say that for like every story. Golden spears thrust at the instant of impact, and the first rank of attackers fell with their bellies pierced by mountain-forged steel. They were trampled underfoot as the warriors behind them pressed the attack. The shield wall buckled, but held. Axes smashed down, sinews swelled, and throats grunted with the effort of attack. Leona thrust her sword through the neck of a raider with a scar bisecting his face from crown to jaw. Oh my god. He screamed and fell back, his throat filling with blood. Her shield slammed into the face of the man next to him, caving in his skull. Okay, hold on. We're getting some R-rated story here. I don't think I've ever heard it quite described like this brutally. I mean, I guess I kind of have, but not like this. The Raharok's line bent as Dragonhelm's sword slammed down again, this time splintering the shield of the warrior next to her. The man dropped, cloven from the neck to pelvis. Leona didn't give Dragonhelm the chance for her third strike. She thrust her golden sword toward him, and a searing echo of its image blazed from the rune-cut blade. White, hot fire engulfed Dragonhelm, his furs and hair instantly igniting and his armor fusing to his flesh like a brand. Oh god. He shrieked in hideous pain, and Leona felt the cosmic power inside her revel in the man's agony. He staggered backward, somehow still alive and screaming as her fire melted the flesh from his bones. His men faltered in their assault as he fell to his knees as a blazing pyre. Oh my god, this is like such a detailed R-rated story. Into them, shouted Leona, and the Raharok surged forward. Powerful arms stabbed spear blades with brutal efficiency. Thrust, twist, withdraw, over and over again like the relentless arms of a threshing machine. The raiders turned and fled from the Raharok's blood-wetted blades, horrified at their war leader's doom. Now they saw only to escape. How and why these raiders had come to Targon was a mystery, for they had clearly not come to bear witness on the mountain nor make an ascent. They were warriors, not pilgrims, and left alive they would only regroup to kill again. Leona could not allow that and thrust her sword into the earth. She reached deep inside herself, drawing on the awesome power from beyond the mountain. The sun emerged from behind its highest peaks as Leona thrust her hand to the light. She dropped to one knee and slammed her fist on the ground, and sunfire rained from the sky. Oh my goodness. This is, Leona is scary. All I gotta say is do not mess with Leona. Holy crap. The way they describe her in battle is insane in this story. I would not want to go up against her whatsoever. I mean, I'm sorry, if you're not a Leona fan, read this story. She sounds insane to me. I love it. Like, I really loved that story. So Diana and, Leona have kind of popped up here and there throughout some of the other champions we reacted to, like Diana with the, the Lunari and Leona with the Solari. Now, I know Nami, I think the last that we read was looking for Diana, and then the same thing with Aphelios, maybe. I don't recall exactly what was going on with Aphelios and Diana. There's a lot more of a connection there. I remember that. All right, the quote says, "I am the light coursing in the soul of the moon." That's a badass quote, to be honest with you. Role is fighter, region is Targon. And then related champions, we have Leona, Tarek, Zoe, and Pantheon. Okay, our paragraph says, bearing her crescent moonblade and clad in shimmering armor the color of winter snow at night, Diana is a living embodiment of the silver moon's power. Imbued with the essence of an aspect from beyond Targon's towering summit, Diana is no longer wholly human and struggles to understand her power and purpose in this world. Okay, so the paragraph is kind of saying she's kind of confused about like her role in this world with all this power that she has. She doesn't exactly know what she's supposed to be doing, but let's go ahead and read the biography and find out. I think her crescent moonblade, like this weapon that she has, is freaking badass. First of all, it's an awesome weapon, and then like the armor that she's wearing is also very cool. Diana did not belong on Mount Targon. A group of Solari hunters discovered her swaddled between her frost-claimed parents, strangers to this land who had clearly traveled a long way. The hunters brought her to their temple, dedicated her, and raised her as a member of the tribes of the Last Sun, known to many as the Racker. Like all of the Solari faiths, she underwent rigorous physical and religious training. However, unlike others, Diana was determined to understand why the Solari act the way they do and the reasoning behind their beliefs. She spent her evenings digging through the libraries, devouring texts with only pale moonlight to read by. Paradoxically, this pursuit provided more questions than answers, and her teachers' aphoristic replies did little to sate her inquisitive mind. When Diana began to notice tomes had whole chapters torn from them and all references to the moon seemed missing, the teachers assigned harsh punishments, intending to exhaust her into devotion. Likewise, her fellow acolytes distanced themselves from her and her questioning. I think I've seen this kind of like plot line before. I guess you could almost say like even Doctor Strange, if you guys are Marvel people, he starts off that way a little bit. He's like kind of questioning and starts digging into things. There was one shining beacon in these years of confused, frustrated isolation, Leona, the most devout of Diana's peers. They often found themselves in impassioned debate. Though one never swayed the other in their long and frequent conversations, they developed a close friendship. Then one glorious night, Diana discovered a hidden alcove deep within the mountain. Moonlight spilled against its walls, revealing imagery of the sun, of soldiers armored in gold alongside silver-clad warriors, and matching imagery of the moon atop Targon's greatest peak. Delighted, Diana raced to share this clear message with Leona. The sun and moon were not enemies after all. Leona did not react with joy. She urged Diana to put this heresy from her mind entirely, warning of the punishments that may befall her if she were to voice such thoughts to others. Diana had never seen her serious friend quite so grave. So yeah, obviously Leona knows something that Diana does not, and I don't know. I want to know why like the Solari are just kind of erasing all of the Lunari stuff. Frustration gnawed at her. She had reached the end of the Solari's knowledge, yet not even Leona would take this new discovery into account. What were the Solari hiding? Increasingly, Diana felt certain there was only one place she could go for answers, the top of Mount Targon. The climb tested her in every way imaginable, and time seemed to stand still as she scaled the peak. To survive, she focused her thoughts on her lone companion and the answers that would make the Solari better, more whole. The summit greeted her with the brightest, fullest moon she'd ever seen. After a rapturous moment, a pillar of moonlight slammed into her and she felt a presence taking hold of her, sharing glimpses of the past and of another Racker faith called the Lunari. Diana realized this presence could only be one of the legendary aspects. She had been chosen as its host. Okay, she reaches the top, or it's like as she's climbing the top, the freaking aspect of the moon just decides to take her as the host. When the light dissipated, her mind was again her own. Diana found herself clad in armor holding a crescent blade, and her once dark hair now gleaming silver. She turned to find she was not alone. Leona stood at her side, similarly bedecked and shining. Golden battle plate, a sunbreak, bright shield, and sword in her hands. Okay, at the same time, Leona also becomes aspect of the sun. Diana was overjoyed to share in this revelatory moment with her friend, but Leona thought only of returning to the Solari. Diana begged her not to, desperate that they face this new future together. But Leona refused, and their disagreement quickly turned into a titanic battle erupting with moonlight and sunfire. I feel like Leona here is just being like really stubborn for some reason, especially if they really are like, they have a close friendship. Fearful of losing herself to the aspect's power, Diana ultimately fled down the mountain. But vindicated in her search, she felt more certain than ever that she had been right to question the Solari's teachings. I agree. It was time to confront them and show the error of their ways. Pushing past their Raharok guardians, Diana burst into the chambers of the High Priest. They listened with mounting horror as she told of what she had learned of the Lunari, and then they denounced her as a heretic, a blasphemer, and a peddler of false gods. Rage filled Diana, amplified by the aspect within, and she embraced it in a terrible burst of moonlight. Startled, she fled the temple, leaving a trail of death in her wake. Wow, so did she just murder everybody in that temple? Now, driven by half-remembered visions and glimpses of ancient knowledge, Diana clings to the only truths she knows for certain, that the Lunari and Solari need not be foes, and that there is a greater purpose for her than to be a Solari acolyte of Mount Targon. And though that destiny remains unclear, Diana will seek it out whatever the cost. Very cool. I see now this is a very intriguing biography because it leaves it pretty wide open and very mysterious, and I do like that, but I do want answers for sure. Forgive me. I feel like I'm really dumb when it comes to the Solari and Lunari stuff, but I told you guys in previous reactions, I was like, I really need to get into Leona and Diana because I don't know anything really about this Solari and Lunari stuff. You know, they're always mentioned. I obviously know Solari's the sun and moon is, the Lunari. So, but like, what's going on? Why are they out? Why do they not like each other and things like that? So we don't get that in here. We just kind of see that the Solari are kind of like pushing the Lunari out and saying, no, that's all wrong. Only the Solari, right? So, but there was these cave drawings or whatever they were showing them together, like in unison and not fighting. So it's kind of interesting to know that in the ancient history, at some point they were together. And I'm wondering if we will find out why they were broken apart in this, or if you guys want to let me know in the comments if you guys know if there's like a legit reason why and it's been mentioned and I missed it, or hold your thoughts and just let me know if like there's another thing that I can read that will explain why they've like broken from each other. I'm also interested to know why the aspects for both the moon and the sun decided to take over both of them at the same time. It's very interesting. I think maybe they were actually trying to bring them together, but then maybe the opposite happened. I don't know. Okay, our story here is called Night's Work. I've seen this artwork before already. Night had always been Diana's favorite time, even as a child. I think it's mine too. Well, no, it probably is. It had been that way since she was old enough to scramble over the walls of the Solari temple and watch the moon traverse the vault of stars. She looked up through the dense forest canopy, her violet eyes scanning for the silver moon, but seeing only its diffuse glow through the thick clouds and dark branches. The trees were pressing in, black and moss-covered, their branches like crooked limbs reaching for the sky. She could no longer see the path, her route forward obscured by rank weeds and grasping briars. Wind-blown thorns scraped the curved plates of her armor, and Diana closed her eyes as she felt a memory stir within her. A memory, yes, but not her own. This was something else, something drawn from the fractured recollections of the celestial essence that shared her flesh. When she opened her eyes, a shimmering image of a forest overlaid the close-packed trees before her. She saw the same trees but from a different time, from when they were young and fruitful, and the path between them was dappled with light and edged in wildflowers. This is a very cool thing that's happening here. I like the fact that, like, Now that the aspect has taken over Diana, she's like seeing the memories or previous memories of people that actually had the aspect as well. Raised in the harsh environs of Mount Targon, Diana had never seen a forest like this. She knew what she was seeing was an echo of the past, but the scents of honeysuckle and jasmine were as real as anything she had experienced. "Thank you," she whispered, following the spectral outline of the ancient path. It led Diana through overgrown and withered trees that ought to have been long dead. It climbed the slopes of rocky highlands and passed through stands of twisted pine and wild fir. It crossed tumbling mountain streams and wound its way around sheer slopes before bringing her to a rocky plateau overlooking a vast lake of cold, dark water. Is it bringing her to like the long-lost Lunari temple, maybe? At the center of the plateau was a circle of towering stones, each carved with looping spirals and curving sigils. On every stone, Diana saw the same rune that shimmered upon her forehead and knew she had reached her destination. Her skin tingled with a sense of febrile anticipation, a sensation she had come to associate with wild and dangerous magic. Wary now, she approached the circle, eyes scanning for threats. Diana saw nothing, but she knew something was here, something utterly hostile and yet somehow familiar. Diana moved to the center of the circle and drew her sword. Its crescent blade glittered like diamond in the wan moonlight, penetrating the clouds. She knelt with her head bowed, the blade's tip resting on the ground, its killians at her cheeks. She felt them before she saw them. A sudden drop in pressure, a raw charge to the air. What's happening here? Diana surged to her feet as the spaces between the stones split apart. The air buckled and a trio of screeching beasts charged her with ferocious speed. Ivory flesh, bone-white carapaces of segmented armor, and steel talons. Terrors. Oh, I want to know. I want to see a picture of these things that are called terrors. Is this just like a test in order to get inside where she's trying to go? Diana dived beneath a snapping jaw filled with teeth like polished ebony, slashing her sword in an overhead arc that clove the first monster's skull to its heavy shoulders. The creature fell, its flesh instantly unraveling. She rolled to her feet as the others circled like pack hunters, now wary of her gleaming blade. The creature she had killed now resembled a pool of bubbling tar. They came at her again, one from each side. Their flesh was already darkening to a bruised purple, hissing in this world's hostile atmosphere. Diana leapt over the leftmost beast and swung her sword in a crescent arc towards its neck plates. She yelled one of the Lunari's holy words, and incandescent light blazed from the blade. Ooh, I want to see that too. The beast blew apart from the inside, gobbets of newly wrought flesh disintegrating before the moonblade's power. She landed and swayed aside from the last beast's attack, not fast enough. Razor talons punched through the steel of her pauldrons and dragged her around. The beast's chest split apart, revealing a gluttonous mass of sense organs and hooked teeth. It bit into the meat of her shoulder, and Diana screamed as numbing cold spread from the wound. She spun her sword, holding the grip like a dagger, and rammed it into the beast's body. It screeched, relinquishing its hold. Steaming black ichor poured from its ruptured body. Diana spun away, biting down on the pain racing around her body. She held her moonblade out to the side, and the clouds began to thin. Wow, that description of like this fight, would love it in a cinematic, of course. I don't know. It was a very good description of this fight with her and the terrors. The beast had tasted her blood and hissed from predatory hunger. Its armored form was now entirely gloss black and venomous purple. Bladed arms unfolded and remade themselves in a fan of hooks and talons. Unnatural flesh flowed like wax to seal the awful wound her blade had ripped. What the heck, dude? This thing sounds insane. The essence within Diana surged. It filled her thoughts with undying hatred from a distant epoch. She glimpsed ancient battles so terrible that entire worlds had been lost in the fires of their waging, a war that had almost unmade this very world and still might. The creature charged Diana, its body rippling with the raw power of another realm of existence. Clouds parted and a brilliant shaft of silver speared downwards. Diana's sword drank in the radiance of distant moons and light burned along its edge. She brought it down in an executioner's arc, cleaving plated bone and woven flesh with the power of the night's illumination. Oh, I just really want this as a cinematic, dang it. The beast came apart in an explosive detonation of light, its body utterly unmade by her blow. Its flesh melted into the night, leaving Diana alone on the plateau, her chest heaving with exertion as the power she had joined with on the mountain withdrew to the far reaches of her flesh. She blinked away after images of a city that echoed with emptiness where once it had pulsed with life. Sadness filled her, though she had never known this place, but even as she mourned it, the memory faded and she was Diana again. The creatures were gone, and the stones of the circle gleamed with threads of silver radiance. Freed from the touch of the hateful place on the other side of the veil, their healing power seeped into the earth. Diana felt it spreading into the landscape, carried through rock and root to the very bones of the world. This night's work is done, she said. The way is sealed. She turned to where the moon's reflection shimmered in the waters of the lake. It beckoned to her. its irresistible pull lodged deep in her soul as it drew her ever onwards. But there is always another night's work, said Diana. Okay, so I get a glimpse of like kind of Diana's powers and things here, right? But she's also very much, I don't know, there's a lot of mystery revolving around Diana, and I want to know more. Like the story and biography here, while written very well, just lead me to want to know more, right? There's a lot of mystery here. And I feel like you guys probably, some of you have probably done your research a little bit more on the Lunari and probably Diana, and I might not get all of it here in this reaction. But yeah, I'm just very curious about like what's going on exactly with Diana and her powers and like with the Lunari and what the aspect of the moon and all of this, like what is its goal or what is the goal of the aspect of the moon? And you know, I have a lot of questions. That's kind of all that's happened from reading this biography and story. All right, everybody, bear with me. This is a bit of a longer story. Now, I'm doing this because we're doing like the combination of the Diana Leona reaction here. So this is a bit of a longer story. If you're not interested in it, of course, move on. You can skip to another section of the reaction. I would love if you stuck with me and maybe listened with this with me. But here we go. It's called Rise With Me. And we got, yeah, this is a very cool splash art here. We got Diana on the left and Leona on the right. It's very cool. All right, rise with me. Here, upon the great mountain, the beloved of the sun sing to her a song of love and devotion, of battle and glory. The golden sun, her light ever shining, bathes our faces in warmth and scorches our enemies, burning them to holy ash. Yet even the radiant sun must rest, and so we are left without her, cold and naked and alone, at the mercy of those who stalk in the dark. We mourn for her as she slumbers, knowing she never wishes to part from us, the last wink of twilight, her fading farewell kiss. Yet the night we would miss her most dearly, the darkness long and bitter, we persuade her to stay longer and dance with us to her own music. Twilight's kiss extended, a roaring flame that thaws through winter's grasp. The sun stays awake all through the night, whispering her sweet secrets until the dawn. We battle the lull of darkness for her, for the love she bears us, and we gaze upon her glory as we show her our own. This is the Hymn of the Dawn, tablet 16, lines 33 to 60. Missive from the High Office of Candescent Priestess Thalia, 40 toward the Nadir. Okay, wow. Some hard words here. To all those faithful youth who reside within the Temple of Auroral Triumph, the journey of the sun takes her farther away from us each day as winter descends upon the mountain once again. Yet as the days grow ever shorter, we do not respond in fear. Instead, we prepare for the festival of the Nightless Eve, now a mere 40 rises hence. Acolytes may notice that this festival, the temple shall be using a different holy lantern glass to light the first sunspark torch that we have in ages past. We offer our gratitude to Sunforger Lasser for creating a sacred object that will outshine its predecessor. However, we condemn the actions of the even cursed who broke the temple's lantern glass last solstice and encourage any with knowledge of this deed to come forth. Those of you who are of age to receive your first shield are required to attend the Nightless Eve and show the sun your worthiness through dance and song. You may attend in a dyad should you wish to witness the glory of the sunrise with another acolyte. Only through our devotion may the darkness be kept at bay. So I'm trying to get a grasp of what we're actually reading here. It sounds like they're doing some sort of like ritual to like make the sun come back or something. Letter from Initiate Priestess Elsene to an acolyte formerly in her care, 38 toward the Nadir. Day blessed, Diana. Your instructor, sun-sworn priestess Nemia, has brought troubling information to my attention in the hopes that I might exert influence on your future actions. It would seem as though you are beginning to voice doubt in our teachings. It is good to sharpen your understanding by asking questions, but it is unacceptable to suggest that your instructors are not well versed in the sacred text. You must show deference to those who have studied longer and harder, who are trying to impart their wisdom and faith unto, even if you disagree with their conclusions. Okay, so we got Diana in here basically questioning things in her class. Okay. I know you understand that your instructors are but mortal as you are, as I am, and that none of us can fully understand her glory. But this is not something you should ever express to others at the temple, not unless or until you have made your initiate vows. Okay, wait, so when they're saying her glory, we're really just referring to the sun? The priestesses of Nemia's rank will be unwilling to discuss this nuance with the acolytes only 14 years of age, and instead will be inclined to issue punishment. For now, I urge caution and silent contemplation. Do not engage further if you do not believe that you can do so respectfully. Perhaps this is contributing to the lack of warmth you feel for the other acolytes and that they feel for you. It is difficult to burden oneself with friendship of another who has earned the wrath of her instructors. I saw this even when you were under my tutelage last year after your quarrel with Initius Priestess Nysinde. Here, I urge you to let your inner light shine through as brilliantly as I have seen in our private discussions. The other acolytes will come around. I will converge with Sunsworn Priestess Nemia about reinstating your speaking privileges during oratory class. If you swear to me that you will follow my advice, otherwise I will not speak for you. In the light, Initiate Priestess Elsene. Okay, so we got like a priestess or another teacher trying to help her out in a sense. All right, Diary of Diana, Ward of the Racker, 38 toward the Nadir. Apparently asking Nemia about why we called the night the darkness was a step too far, but it's not dark at night, not completely. There's a gentler light, not hot and burning, but cool like a stream in summertime, that shines alongside the stars and illuminates my path when I walk the grounds. So we're really seeing like Diana evolve into somebody that like she's like, these teachings are kind of BS, right? Why then do we only speak of the sun? What is this other ethereal being? Why is the sun's light the only one we are supposed to see? I would never bring that up in oratory though, not when Nemia has proclaimed that I am to hold my tongue for the remainder of my time in her charge for being disruptive and disrespectful, and whatever, fine. Let the other acolytes spout pretty poems when they try to make a convincing argument and repeat the same verses over and over and over until I throw up in my hands in defeat and beg the instructor to let me tear them and their flimsy conclusions apart. Today we were supposed to discuss the upcoming festival, so Sabina gave a little speech about how excited she is to celebrate her first nightless eve with the other shield-aged. That was it. That was the whole argument. The entire point of view was, won't this be fun? Ugh, this is what Nemia has to work with, and she chooses to punish me instead. Leona volunteered to get up and argue against it, but how can you argue against I feel an emotion? She could only combat it with having a different emotion, one of exhaustion or trepidation about serving the sun the right way or something. It wasn't what I'd call captivating oration, but at least she tried. And she mentioned something about the darkness being somber, not evil, but somber, which is not actually the same thing at all, and that caught my attention. Ooh, okay. So I tried to speak after Leona and started by asking my question about the darkness. It was meant to be rhetorical. I didn't even have the chance to talk about how the festival is just a way to reinforce how people already feel about celebrating the sun, how it is a ritual designed to subjugate us to orthodoxy instead of pursuing our own relationship with her. But apparently even that is too much for Nemia. Just because she has blessed us with the light and sight doesn't mean the priesthood wants to see things for what they really are. I can't be the first person to ever ask these questions, can I? More tomorrow, the stars have come out again, lit by that silvery glow. D. This is kind of cool. We're like getting really into the inside of Diana here at a younger age, right? When she's learning about the Solari, and we're really learning like when she's kind of questioning everything. Okay, cool. We get a little like drawings of some stars. Letter from a devoted daughter, 37 toward the Nadir. Devoted daughter. My day blessed parents, I pray that my letter finds you both well and that young Adenel and Caspina are healthy and happy. I respect your desire for more correspondence, and so I write to you today with nothing much to say, certainly nothing of great import. The instructors have begun their lessons on the nightless eve. I look forward to the shift in our waking hours as I and the other Shield Age prepare to face the darkness together. To Mother's question, I do not yet know whether I will attend in the company of another acolyte, nor whether I wish to do so. I understand that you doubt my honesty in these matters, Mother, but truly none have yet caught my eye. I assure you that you needn't ask further and that I will tell you plainly should that answer change. Okay, so this is kind of like the mom is pushing them to find a partner, huh? Oh, I performed admirably upon the War Games field this past week. Our trainer, Initiate Priestess Incende, praised me highly and asked the others to observe my footwork and swordmanship. She has said that my shield suits me, though I must learn to use it in support of my allies on the field, not simply as a means to protect myself. I take her tutelage seriously and have asked Hyderope and Sabina to continue to train me after our schooling has finished for the day. I expect to continue to improve. My academic pursuits are going well, though I feel I am lacking in my oration skills. I have spoken with Sunsworn Priestess Nemia, and she says that I am well on my way. Yet on this, I do not agree with her. I do not mean to say that I am disrespecting my instructors, or that I wish to better my skills, and it does not appear that Sunsworn Priestess Nemia will offer any additional support. There is a girl in my oratory class whose arguments are concise and well constructed, but her views and lines of thought do not always connect to what the instructors have taught. Yet she is always prepared, and other acolytes find their arguments fall to pieces under her scrutiny. Perhaps she is someone I could approach for assistance in this matter. I know you believe me capable of becoming a leader, and I will not fail you in this. In the love of her light, Leona. All right, so from these 2 diary like reads that we just got, so we got the basically the 2 opposites of each other. We have Diana, who is basically an orphan. She is an orphan. We don't know who her parents are, or they died, right? And she has, so she doesn't have anybody to write to like Leona is here. And then Diana is good when it comes to speaking, right? We don't really know her skill with like a blade and a shield is probably not as good as Leona's, obviously. And then Leona is very good with a sword and shield. She's practicing and she's being noted on like by her instructors that she's very good with it. So it's kind of cool to see that we're getting like 2 opposite sides, kind of sun and moon here as well. Notes passed between Leona, daughter of Sun Forgers, and Diana, ward of the Racker, 35 toward the Nadir. Day blessed Diana, are you often busy after our middle rhetoric instruction? I sense that I am not doing as well in oratory as I could be and humbly ask that you help me grow my skills in constructing and delivering convincing arguments. In the light, Leona. Why do you ask for my help? I am no longer invited to speak during class, so why would you want to learn from someone whose arguments our instructors have deemed worthless? Perhaps you should ask Sabina or that other girl you train with. They have shown themselves to be loyal companions who would do nothing to help you succeed. Ooh, Diana has noticed at least, right? You can tell here that Diana is paying attention. The content of your arguments notwithstanding, you are more skilled at constructing the logic behind them than anyone else in our year and likely in our temple. You have heard some of the end of the year debates and presentations that the older acolytes have made in years past, have you not? I believe you are better suited to train me in this than any of them. I know your time is limited, so I would not ask that you spend much of it on me, but I would greatly appreciate it if you would look over my notes before our next rhetorical exercise and help me grasp what it is I am not yet understanding. And please know that I do not ask this lightly. If there's anything you're struggling with, anything that I can do to assist you where you need it, I pledge myself to it in return. In the light, Leona. Okay, so we're really just getting like two schoolmates, kind of, well, they're not bonding yet, right? But we're kind of seeing where that close friendship that we read about in Diana's biography and stuff, like kind of where that came from. Diary of Diana, Ward of the Racker 35 toward the Nadir. I'm shocked that Leona came to me, and I'm still not certain that this isn't some kind of joke, but it isn't as though I have any of my own oratory lessons to work on, so I agreed to help her. Obviously, we won't be meeting in person. I don't want any of the instructors to look down on Leona for asking the resident heretical Lunar for help, nor any of our fellow acolytes. I doubt that they would turn on her, not when she is the golden child of a war games cohort, but they still might mock her, laugh at her. And I don't want that to happen to her, not when she was brave enough, I suppose, humble enough to approach me. It is refreshing to have someone admit when they are not the best at everything, and I confess that it is a surprise coming from her. Maybe I've just never seen Leona fail at something before. And I like the idea of having someone to talk to sometimes, even if it's someone who believes with the fullness of her heart in everything we are taught here. If associating with me were to lose her the respect she has earned from so many, then what reason would she have to keep talking with me? D. And then we get a little drawing. So Diana is a little bit of an artist. I'm assuming this would be like Diana writing and drawing in her journal. So this is kind of cool. Letter from a temple instructor to old friends, 21 toward the Nadir. Most stay blessed, Melia and I'm going to say Lacer. It's Iacer or something. Okay, I guess I'll say Iacer. Thank you again for your generous gift to the temple. Your work, Iacer, has always is sublime. The Candescent Priestess asked that I extend to you both an invitation to join us for our Nightless Eve celebration. 21 rises hence to see your lattern glass at work. I do not understand that caring for two young children makes that difficult. Perhaps you could bring them just to see the lighting of the sunspark torches. I've spoken with all of Leona's instructors this year, and I'm pleased to report that your daughter has risen to the top of all her educational pursuits. She has taken to tutoring some of the other acolytes in my middle record class with their vocabulary and verb tenses. Her dedication to the sun is visible in everything she does, and her commitment to excellence is commendable. I observed her performance in the last wargame skirmish, and she has quickly become a leader on the battlefield, even among the older acolytes. I know you would be proud. However, there's something to be said about taking the time to appreciate the life the sun has blessed us with. After the skirmish, one of Leona's teammates asked if she had interest in attending the festival of the Nightless Eve together. Leona denied any such interest in the other girl and went off to her evening studies. I worry that Leona may be overly focused on achievement and will miss opportunities to delight in the sun's gifts and truly enjoy the closeness to her light that her time at the temple should bring to her. It is my hope that you will speak with her on this matter. In the light, Sunsworn Priestess Polyamnius. Okay, I don't know why it took me this long to just realize what I'm trying to connect this to like the real world in a sense a little bit, just to help me understand it a little bit better. But basically what we're kind of getting here, I'm going to put it in this context. This is just for me, right? Basically, I'm going to take the Solari schooling or temple as like the Catholic school, right? If you go to a Catholic private school, and you're in middle school, right? Basically, we have Leona, who's got, a Catholic family, and, her teachers are all reporting she's doing very well in Catholic teachings, as well as, this other extracurricular activity. We won't say we have war games or skirmishes like that in the real world. But then we have Diana, the opposite end, who's obviously doesn't believe in the Catholic beliefs or anything like that. She's questioning all of it, blah, blah, blah. She believes this other thing that for some reason they won't mention. And she doesn't have any family or anything like that. And we have the connection of the two girls, which is pretty cool. Like in a sense, I could see this as like in a real world movie. Like that's probably been done before, right? Journal of Leona, daughter of Sunforgers, 17 toward the Nadir. How could I ask someone to attend the festival with me? A no? Is that too childish? Not straightforward enough? Lots of notes as it is, but I love getting notes from her. She always makes time to answer, always very thoughtful and smart. Ask her to take a walk with me? When? I have skirmishes every night this week. Flowers? Don't know if she likes flowers or which flowers she likes. A meal? Never shared a meal together. Might be too public. What if the meal is gross? Bad omen. After to train her with my shield? She doesn't use her shield much. That that could work. Or maybe she doesn't like using her shield. She doesn't seem to like skirmishes. Debate some scripture. Good chance to talk in person. Get to see her at her best. Be brilliant. Try to impress her. Maybe tell her you need help with a big project for oratory. No, she's in the same class as you. This is stupid. Pray together. Good excuse for privacy, but she would never say yes to that. Ask her if she already has plans. Be casual. Doesn't have to be as more than friends. She probably doesn't want to go alone. What if she's already going with someone? Who would she go with? Tell her I don't have a companion? This is not a terrible option. Don't ask, just see her there and ask her to dance with you? Also not a terrible option. Why is this so hard? So this is kind of cool. We're getting the mind of Leona here trying to ask Diana to the, what is it called? The festival dance or whatever? Yeah, it's just the festival, not the dance. I'm thinking of it as like a dance, right, in the real world. Notes sent between Leona, daughter of Sunforgers, and Diana, ward of the Racker, 14 toward the Nader. Leona, some thoughts on your last argument. Your thesis was concise and easy to understand, and even Sabina seemed to follow your logic, and I really liked how you threaded in some star-sun hypotheses that connected surprisingly well to your argument a few weeks ago on the sun's gift in the sky. I could tell Nemia was impressed. Well done. You compared the sun's light and the life to the cold darkness, but you weren't able to say exactly what about the darkness is bad. Is it the absence of warmth? If so, is winter bad? Is cold water bad? Is it the absence of life? Mount Targon itself is not alive. Is it bad? You need better examples or to change your metaphors. You spoke of heretics as those who don't believe in the sun. What does that even mean? It's there in the sky. Are you arguing that some people don't believe it is there at all? I know what you meant, I think, but you should clarify that believing in the sun and believing in our scripture are not exactly the same. Or you should speak of worshiping the sun rather than believing in it. Moreover, how do you know enough to assume that the restricted tablets say about our people's history? The instructors have only offered summaries and hearsay as to what they mean, but unless you have quotations, you're only working off of theories, not truths. I would hold off on arguing anything about the restricted tablets until you've seen them after the initiation rites. Your point about the everlasting day was good, as was your argument in favor of the shadow theory, but you didn't follow through them to a strong conclusion. Celebrating both the everlasting day and the nightless eve as triumphs of the sun means what about the creation of shadows? Are they mortal creations or that of the sun? But yes, you're definitely improving. Can you feel it when you're up there on the dice? Diana. So cool. Diana literally read her whole like essay and is like critiquing it and helping her. Diana is obviously super smart. This is telling me that Diana is extremely smart. Diana, yes, I can feel it. It is as though the sun's righteousness flows through me. I can feel her warmth grow in my cheeks the longer I speak. I wish our classes were held outdoors, even in the winter chill, so she could hear me. I very much appreciate your notes. Thank you for taking the time to write them down, and thank you again for all of your guidance in this matter. I would not be improving so steadily if it were not for you, but I do have further questions. Everything in my argument was research. I have the citations for every piece of the hymn and the writings of the philosophers and the temple scholars. I don't believe any of my conclusions were unique. Maybe the way I connected some of the different pieces was. But none of the works I cited answered the questions or attempted to answer the questions that you ask in your critique. What is it about the darkness that is evil? It's not about why. It's never been about why. It just is. Ooh, Diana's going to argue with you on that one. Why do you think I need to go deeper than that when it's widely known already? Also, I noticed that you haven't been practicing with your shield very often in the skirmishes. It's taken me some time, especially since they're so large and unwieldy, but I'm starting to better understand how to use it in battle. Would you like to practice together if you have time? ITL Leona. ITL? Oh god, I'm a freaking boomer, dude. I don't know what ITL means. Oh, I'll talk to you later? No, that's not I'll talk to you. Okay, whatever. Leona, if it's so widely known and so widely agreed upon, don't you think you should dig deeper? Who agreed upon this? When? Why? Why are there some things we have collectively decided to take for granted as truth? You asked me to take a look at your argument and help you structure it better. That's all I'm trying to do here. If the argument can't be structured well based on canon and orthodox thought, or at least the canon as we know it, then maybe the underlying assumptions are wrong or don't make sense. Maybe the restricted tablets answer all of these questions, but maybe they don't. I don't know, because we're not allowed to read them. It's so frustrating. That's why I try to base my arguments on what we do have access to and ask for a clarification where the text doesn't give us any. But you did a lot better this time than the last time around. I can't wait to see your next oration. Let me know if you believe you will want my assistance beforehand or if you'd rather surprise me with your arguments. And thank you for the offer, but I don't think I'll ever be able to successfully wield a shield. It's too distracting and weighs me down too much to focus on my attack. And besides, as long as I'm on your team, I know at least one person's defending me. Diana. Okay, cool. So this is where we get to see, like, Diana definitely prefers no shield, and Leona does prefer the shield. She's better with it, and she knows what to do. And obviously also why Diana is, a fighter, and then we got Leona as the tank champion. All right, guys, I think we're over halfway here. Letter from Sunsworn Priestess Nemia to a shining pupil, 12 toward the Nader. Day bless, Leona. I want to commend you on your improvement these past few weeks. Already you were debating well, but clearly you've dedicated yourself even further to this work and it shines through you. But see, Diana's the one teaching her. Apologies for the interruption during your oration today, and know that I, Incandescent Priestess, will be dealing with it. Do not concern yourself over it as you continue your path toward excellence and toward her light. In her blessed warm, Sunsworn Priestess Nemia. the interruption was probably Diana. Disciplinary account, 12 towards the Nader. I Sansoran Priestess Nemia provided an accounting of the actions of Acolyte Diana, Ward of the Racker, and the penance she faces in response. Acolyte Diana interrupted a fellow Acolyte's presentation after having been instructed weeks ago to remain silent during class. When she was told to quiet down and allowed the oration to continue, she instead attempted a rebuttal to the other Acolyte's argument. Ooh. In a blasphemous furor, Diana suggested that the light does not belong entirely to the realm of the glorious sun. May the Evan curse be forever kept at bay. In doing so, she has poisoned the mind of every Shield Age acolyte in the class with dangerous heretical thought. After I speak with Candescent Priestess Thalia, a decision as to Diana's penance was reached. Diana was spent 3 days standing in the light of the sun with neither shade nor water until the sun sleeps for the night to remind her of the sun's merciful judgment. Oh my God. What in the, this is like back in the day when when teachers were able to like whack kids with like rulers, dude. What the hell? All right, Diary of Diana, 11 toward the Nader. The sun is not a loving, life-giving mother to us all. She is hateful, burning with malice, and she aims to drive us all underground to avoid her scorching light. I don't really think that, but it doesn't feel like she loves me. I have my 3rd day of punishment tomorrow. I can only hope for clouds or rain. Snow? Anything. My skin is red and raw and I just want to sleep. But it was worth it. That debate with Leona is probably the closest we will ever come to talking in public, and we got to do it on our terms. I didn't even bring up the light that pierces the darkness at night. I didn't have time before Nemia dragged me off to Thalia for her retribution. I wonder what they would have done if I had. I hate everyone here. I don't want to celebrate anything with any of them. I don't want their lying smiles and their celebratory glares boring holes through me. Instead of going to the Nightless Eve, I'll just climb. Get someplace higher than this. Maybe look at the stars. Watch the nighttime light. Besides, the only person I would want to go with who would never want to be seen with me. Not after this kind of public penance. Probably not before it either. So I have nothing to lose. Oh, this is like kind of... I'm getting a little in my feels after reading that one. Like you can tell they both care for each other. But Diana thinks... Leona's obviously being a little naive with the whole Solari stuff, obviously. But Diana really cares for Leona. And I think Leona also really cares for Diana here. And like, look at these cute drawings that she drew. And then she also scribbled them out, of course. Well, these could just be mistakes, but getting me in my feels on this one here. I don't hate everyone, but not everyone is kind with a shining smile and a gleaming heart. And not everyone sees me as worth anything. Their time, their attention. But I'm sure she doesn't see me as worth anything anymore. Wow. Yo. That's freaking dark. Wow. Wow. I mean, we're really getting into the mind of like kind of like a depressed Diana here because she clearly is so different from everyone at this school. And she's just being truly who she is, right? And she has no friends. All right, Journal of Leona, 7 toward the Nader. Why should I just pick someone to go to the festival with? 6 different people have asked me and I've turned them all down. I don't want people to think I am uptight. I am fun. Sabina and Hydro believe that I have a secret companion. My parents might be in attendance and they want me to be more social because it's only a week away. But I know who I want to go with. Would it be a good idea though? Diana just finished her penance and no one is being very kind to her, even though I am the one who let her speak. I wanted to watch her deconstruct my points and ask me questions and to answer them with my list of citations. The sun would urge mercy, but I don't expect her ever gain favor with the priesthood again. Would going with her make everyone treat me the same way? Does that matter? Is she worth it? Wow, is she worth it? She doesn't care what the others think about her. Why should I? She gets this look when she thinks she's right, when she's won her argument, and the sun's light shines through her eyes and her smile, and she wears triumph like a crown, and it's just magnificent. Okay, I have made up my mind. Dude, this is so like, it's wholesome in a sense, but it's also kind of like, I don't know how this is going to end. Well, I guess I do know how it ends, right? I mean, Diana and Leona end up on opposite sides, but that really tells you like a lot, really. Letter from Candescent Priestess Thalia to a disciplined acolyte's parents. Ooh. I'm writing to inform you that your daughter, Leona, was involved in a fight with another acolyte. It did not, to the best of my knowledge, get physical. I only arrived at the end of the altercation and did not hear what it was that they fought over. Both girls were spoken to, but neither took me into her confidence as to what started the fight. There will be a measure of penance meted out to both girls, with her light cast over the world, Candescent Priestess Thalia. So my guess is Leona asked Diana, and Diana got mad. Excerpt from the Diary of Diana, 5 toward the Nader. But the moment I told Diana I would not be attending the Nightless Eve, her eyes dimmed as though I had told her I was embracing the darkness in my heart. And knowing me, knowing what I have been through, she asks me why not. That's when I realized, oh, she's proselytizing. Proselytizing, what the heck does that mean? The action of attempting to convert someone from one religion, belief, or opinion to another. So she thinks she's trying to convert her, but no, she really just wanted to go with her to this thing. Wow. Apparently all this time we spent writing notes to one another has given Leona the idea that I am available to be preached at, converted to full believer, made to see the light. She asked for my help because she thought she could help me. So I got angry. I yelled. I'm not proud of it, but I couldn't help it. I'm just glad I didn't cry. I should have known that was all this was. All it ever was. Luckily, I was not the only one who got in trouble this time. Golden Child Leona had to perform penance too, but they wouldn't make her stand out in the sun for days on end. Instead, we'll have to scrub floors all across the temple, even in the priesthood's Sabonium. I wonder if an instructor may have asked her to intervene on the sun's behalf. If that's all I am to her, a heretic able to be swayed back onto the path, then she and her lousy arguments can rot and fail oratory for all I care. Wow. So Diana couldn't even believe, because she's like, there's no way Leona would be legitimately asking me. Journal of Leona, 5 toward the Nadir. Why should I never have asked Diana to go to the festival with me? She looked disgusted that I would even ask if she was going. She started yelling at me publicly. We both got in trouble, and now I have to miss skirmishes to scrub floors. She doesn't care about celebrating the sun. She's practically a heretic. She probably wouldn't even dance if she did go. Now she'll never write to me again. I should have just said yes to somebody else. Oh, dude, this is so sad. Letter from disappointed parents to their daughter. They blessed Leona. Your mother and I are displeased to hear both of your penance obligations and your disappointing performance at your last skirmish. We know that you are capable of better and expect you to rise to the occasion. Leaders in our light do not run into impediments that they cannot overcome, nor do they get hindered by such earthly mischief as a shouting match at school. We will be in attendance at the opening ceremony for the Nightless Eve 2 days hence, and we'll speak with you about how to better to secure your future then. In the love of her light, Father. Man, we got like the typical like strict parents too. Ugh. Which is why probably Leona acts the way she does. Diary of Diana, 1 toward the Nadir. I am beside myself with rage. She wasn't trying to preach to me. She was asking me to go with her to the festival. Ah, Diana, you are such a fool. Oh, dude, this is like, ugh. I'm like rooting for Diana and Leona, but it's obviously not going to happen because I just know. And it's kind of like, it's kind of sad. Missive from the High Office of Candescent Priestess Thalia the Nadir. To our shield aged and above, may you have a joyful festival of the Nightless Eve, and may you forever bask in her unending love and warmth. Our celebration begins at twilight. Be sure to dress appropriately in your formal temple garb. With her light cast over the world, Candescent Priestess Thalia. Letter from Leona, daughter of the Sunforgers, to her parents, unsent. 174 toward the zenith. My day blessed parents, glory to you both in the light of the sun, and may the days grow long as we know her love once more. I know that you expected to see me at the celebration, and and it's crossed out. I wanted to explain why I wasn't at the start of the crossed out. I'm sure you were wondering, crossed out. I missed the first half of the festival. Okay, so where was Leona? Diary of Diana, 174 toward the zenith. I cannot believe I am writing these words now with my fingers still trembling and have them be the truth. It is unthinkable, unfathomable, and yet it happened. Okay, ooh, we're getting some juicy stuff here. I watched the others get ready for the Nightless Eve in their mantles and their veils and their armor, and I didn't. I took my warmest robe and slipped out the door to the Acolyte's hearth, past the temple palisade and out into the wilderness. There is little above the temple that was made by human hands. On the lower peaks of the mountain, it is supposed to be where we go to feel closest to the sun. So I went up, and I looked for a good place to sit and watch the sky. I witnessed the setting of the sun and the sky growing dark and the sunspark torches burning brightly below on the temple grounds. Even from up there, I could feel the horrible heat. My skin remembers the burns from my penance, but looking up at the night sky, at the darkness, at the stars, at the beautiful glow above, I could forget about that for a little while. I know it was wrong, I know I shouldn't have done it, but that glow, that soft silvery light from above, made me feel at peace for the first time in forever. I don't even know how long. I didn't feel worried about the instructors or the festival below or what would happen when they realized I wasn't present. Even now, just remembering being there and looking up, I feel a calm settle over me. It was everything that everyone says the sun should be. So I offered her a short prayer. None of the elaborate things we do when we prostrate ourselves at noontide, just a few simple words of thanks. I won't repeat them here. I don't want to cheapen them. That's when I heard Leona calling for me. Okay, so we really actually have her like praying to the moon here already. Continued letter from Leona unsent. I realize now that after paying such penance as she had, Diana would not find the festival as exciting as I and the other acolytes did. She did not berate me for asking her to accompany me. She berated me for bringing it up at all. It was your letter, actually, that made me push past my own pain and reflect upon that moment more sincerely. Upon reflection, I decided to find her and apologize. I knew where she wouldn't be, but not where she would go. So I searched for her, first within the temple grounds, then without. So she's actually trying to, like, explain to her parents her thought process here, but then it was unsent, so I think she was like, screw it, I don't need to send this. I'd never seen Diana out at night before. She goes a painful pink if she is outside for too long under the sun's glory, but here, cloaked in darkness, she looked like she belonged to the night, but not in a bad way. How could it be when it is the same color as her hair. Her eyes? She asked me why I was there. Wasn't I supposed to be down at the festival with the others? She looked at me with, I'm not sure, fear maybe? Disappointment stole the words from my lips and I remained silent. I could only gaze at her. Then she asked if someone had told me to bring her back to the temple, to the festival. I shook my head and croaked out an apology. For making her upset, for getting us both into trouble, she stared back at me, then shook her head and apologized to me for the same thing. I wanted to laugh, but things still felt too fragile for that, and I did not want to break this moment. This was, I realized, the first time we had ever spoken with no one else around. She gestured for me to join her, so I did. We sat together closer than we'd ever been to one another before. Our arms brushed, and she flinched away like she'd been burnt. So you're not going to the festival at all, she asked. Maybe not exactly that, but something like that. Ooh, this is getting spicy, y'all. I said something like, I don't know, it depends. My heart was beating hard in my throat as she leaned her head against my shoulder, but she didn't seem to notice. She looked up, then at the sky, and smiled. I don't think I'd ever felt so happy before. I'm not sending this letter. That's great. Continued Diary of Diana. We relaxed together under the light of the night for hours. I lost track of time. I wanted so badly to point to the glow above us to ask her what she thought, if that made her think about the sun and her light any differently. But instead we sat beside one another and looked up together. At some point there was a cloud that darkened the sky and I could see the light from the torches reflecting off of it. I still didn't want to go to the festival, but I didn't know how important this sort of thing is to Leona, and she'd stayed with me for ages without complaint. So I asked her if she wanted to dance with me down at the festival. I expected her to say no, but a smile broke across her face, bigger than I'd ever seen her smile before. I want to draw it, but I don't know if I can capture its brilliance. She grabbed my hand and said, I will never forget this as long as I breathe, she said. Not yet. Wow. And Leona kissed me, and I kissed Leona. Woo! I don't know why I'm cheering. Anyway, this artwork is beautiful. You know what this does for me, though? It just makes their current situation that much more tragic, because we have like the love of these two champions and yet they're not with each other. And you know, it's obviously for reasons that I kind of don't necessarily know. It's really just because Diana is very much part of the Lunari and Leona is very much part of the Solari. And then, you know, when the two aspects took over them, they ended up fighting each other because the aspects really probably. Hymn of the Dawn, Tablet 7, broken and lost to the Solari, lines unknown. Their dearest wished to share a sky, made large enough for both to dance, with hands and hearts entwined. Instead, they must steal glances, wait for the other to approach, or watch the other depart. Yet here and there, a kiss, love freely given, a gentle embrace, moments of ecstasy and joy. Rise with me, she whispers, I will calm you with caresses, and let the world wait for the sun. Rise with me, she cries, I will warm you with my passion, and let the world be moonless tonight. And from their union we emerge, made of twilight and dawn, encircled by their love. Man, again, like it really just makes their story more tragic that they're not together right now. And they're basically fighting on two opposite sides at the moment. Hence, that's why it is a good story, right? When you have these kinds of stories where it's people on two different sides that love each other. I mean, that's the typical thing you see in like a lot of pop culture, like with movies or TV shows or books, right? It's always two people of opposite clans or tribes or whatever that fall in love with each other and create a good story. Cool. If you stayed with me for that read, thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, seeing as Leona is pretty old, we're going to have to take a look at the gameplay abilities on this page first. All right, difficulty is moderate, and we're starting off with the sunlight ability, okay, the passive. So what's going on here? It says damaging spells afflict enemies with sunlight for 1.5 seconds. When allied champions deal damage to those targets, they consume the sunlight to deal additional bonus magic damage. Okay, so it's basically like she puts sunlight on another champion and then they do extra damage to them. That's pretty cool. It's like using the power of the sun. All right, the Q is shield break. Let's see this one on the video. All right. Oh, okay. So it's like kind of like a shield bash. It says Leona uses her shield to perform her next basic attack, dealing bonus magic damage and stunning the target. Yeah, so it's just like a magical shield bash. I mean, that's good. I mean, basically, it makes sense for her to have that ability because her shield is a pretty prominent part of her character. All right, the W is Eclipse. Ooh, that's a great name. And it looks really cool here. Yeah, that looks so awesome in the animation. Leona raises her shield to gain damage reduction, armor, and magic resist. When the duration first ends, if there are nearby enemies, she will deal magic damage to them and prolong the duration of the effect. Oh, wow. Okay, so the animations are really cool in this. Second off, she gets a bunch of buffs or like damage resistance. And then if people nearby, like it goes off and deals damage and then also like prolongs it, which is really awesome. That looks really cool in the animation, like I said. Yeah, that seems like a really good ability because it's going to work most of the time. Like you're usually going to probably use your W when you're being attacked by another champion, and then it's just going to go off again. That's cool. All right, E is Zenith Blade. Okay, so it looks like it's a chart. She throws it? Hold on. Leona projects a solar image of her sword, dealing magic damage to all enemies in a line. When the image fades, the last enemy champion struck will be briefly immobilized and Leona will dash to them. Oh, that's really good. I like that ability. Wow, that's a good dash ability. I really like that one. It immobilizes them too, which is cool. I like that it like throws the sword, but it's not actually throwing her sword. It's just like a solar image. That's cool. All right, the ultimate, it's got to be just like, oh, solar flare. Ooh. Okay, Leona calls down a beam of solar energy, dealing damage to enemies in an area. Enemies in the center of the area are stunned, while enemies on the outside are slowed. Oh, even people on the outside are slowed. Cool. Does it do a lot of damage? I don't know. I can't tell if it's doing a lot of damage, but cool that it slows down people. And of course, Solar Flare. Perfect. These are perfect names for all of them. Zenith Blade, Eclipse. Like, these are all great. I don't know too much about like other tanks that we've reacted to, but her abilities seem pretty like not confusing or anything to me. So like the difficulty being moderate is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's just because she's a tank or what, but like these abilities seem pretty basic to me. So if I were to play a tank, I think Leona would be one of them because she seems pretty simple to use and she doesn't seem too bad. All right, let's take a look at Leona in Wild Rift now.
Feel the sun's glory.
All right, she looks cool. Let's see these abilities now. Oh, cool, there's the dash. I already forget all the ability names, but we'll run through them here. She looks really good in game. Sunlight. Abilities apply sunlight. Cool. Allies consume the mark and deal extra damage. Shield of Daybreak. Empower next attack and stun the target. Cool. Just her shield bash ability with sunlight involved. I think the Eclipse ability is really cool. Especially since we just had one recently. Zenith Blade. Cool. Root and dash to the last champion hit. And then Solar Flare. Yeah. Stun enemies in the center. Cool. Pretty straightforward in my opinion. I don't know how, it's like, I need to compare her to other tanks, I feel like. Like, are there other tankier abilities than what she has? I mean, she seems pretty good. Okay. Cool. Ah, yes. Cool. Look at that. We got Chef Leona. All right, so seeing how Diana's gameplay spotlight is like 11 years old, we're going to look at the gameplay abilities, but there is a Wild Rift video that we'll get to right after this, but I want to look at just the abilities first. All right, so role as fighter, like we said, difficulty is moderate. Let's take a look here. So we have the passive is Moon Silver Blade. Every third strike cleaves nearby enemies for an additional magic damage. After casting a spell, Diana gains attack speed for 5 seconds. That's a very good passive in my opinion. So third strike does more magic damage and then just you get more attack speed for 5 seconds after using your abilities. Cool. All right, our first ability is Q, Crescent Strike. Let me see this in action. Ooh, that's cool. Unleashes a bolt of lunar energy in an arc, dealing magic damage. Afflicts enemies struck with moonlight, revealing them if they are not stealthed for 3 seconds. Oh, I love that aspect of actually incorporating moonlight with like highlighting people. That's actually really cool. I feel like that'd be kind of hard to hit though, with it being like an arc shot like that. I don't know. You guys tell me. All right, next is W, which is the Pale Cascade. Let's look at that in the video again. I want to see. Okay, so she has some orbs around her. Okay, and then she has a shield as well. So Diana creates 3 orbiting spheres that detonate on contact with enemies to deal damage in an area. She also gains a temporary shield that absorbs damage. If her third sphere detonates, the shield gains additional strength. Oh, that's a solid ability all around. I mean, first off, it just being a shield, and then it's also like offensive in a way where you have these orbs around you, so you can like actually move in and attack with them essentially. Very good. I think that's my favorite ability so far. We have Lunar Rush though. Oh, that's good. E, this is her E ability. So becomes the living embodiment of the vengeful moon, dashing to an enemy and dealing magic damage. Lunar Rush has no cooldown when used to dash to an enemy afflicted with moonlight. Ah, there's that combo there. All other enemies will have the moonlight debuff removed regardless of whether they were the target of Lunar Rush. I love the aspect of incorporating the moonlight and then like having her rush in afterwards. That's awesome. All right, here's the ultimate, Moonfall. Oh, that's a perfect name for it. Oh, I love that it strikes down and like it shows the Lunari symbol or the moon symbol on the ground as well. It looks really cool in game. All right, so it says Diana reveals and draws in all nearby enemies and slows them. If Diana pulls in one or more enemy champions, the moonlight crashes down onto her after a short delay, dealing magic damage in an area around her, increased for each target beyond the first pulled. Wow, okay, so cool. Yeah, if you could pull in a lot of people, that's a really good ultimate. Obviously, unless you're weak and you don't end up killing them afterwards, they might just murder you. But that seems like I love the animation of that ability. Okay, so honestly, I know it says she's a difficult character, like difficulty-wise. She looks really fun to play. Of any of the fighters that I think I've seen so far, personally, she looks really fun. The only thing that I think I'd be questioning a little bit is this Crescent Strike, because I'm not sure how easy that is to use, but everything else seem decently easy, and they seem like really fun abilities, in my opinion. All right, let's see these abilities kind of in action, though, with the Wild Rift overview here.
Chosen of the moon.
Oh, dude, she looks so badass. Oh, there's that lunar rush, and I see the moonlight on them. That's awesome.
The moon will rise.
All right, so the passive.
Night will last forever.
Deal damage in area every third attack. Okay. Crescent Strike, here we go. They always put them in this. Oh, so that's how it works. You can aim it, but I still feel like that'd be very hard to hit. Create damaging orbs and gain a shield. Okay, cool. So even if the shield goes away, it actually refreshes it after those orbs are gone. So you kind of do want to go in with it. Dash 2 and damage an enemy. Yeah, that ability's just, I mean, it's a basic ability, but that seems really good. Consume Moonlight to reduce its cooldown. Cool. Slow enemies and apply Moonlight in area. Oh, whoa. Okay. That got bigger than I thought. It looks different in Wild Rift. I liked it in the League of Legends animation. All right, let's see a little montage of some gameplay here. Okay. Oh, that arc shot though, that cascade or the Crescent Strike. That was cool.
Bring down the sun.
All right, cool. I love it, dude. I love her look. Oh. Oh my God. Why are these skins so good already? Just her original design is so good. All right, next up we have what is called a Diana's Champion Showcase. It's for Legends of Runeterra. It's 2 minutes, but it looks like we got like a little bit of an animation here. I think they did something similar with Lux, maybe. I don't know. Oh, that looks so good.
Each act of heresy is an act of passion.
Ooh. Okay. Did they show us her card? No, see, this is before they got into the style of how they were doing their trailers for their champions.
Yours is the light I cherish, Queen Sister.
Her allies are great threats. Okay. When played later on. What does she do? They'll show us later at the end. When night falls 4 times. So they're incorporating like nighttime. That's cool.
Find your path in
She
the
levels
dark
up.
and follow no.
All right, hold on. I want to roll back because I want to see what the card actually does. I know we're getting the animation. So she's a 1 mana Nightfall. Give me Challenger this round, and then level up when you've activated Nightfall 4 times. Okay. All right, here we go.
And follow no false light.
Oh, whoa. Okay, that was pretty cool. I didn't expect the hand to come out. It was a little goofy, but it's also kind of cool that she has like the moon in her
truth
hand.
Protects our cause.
Okay. Diana becomes a yeah, after she levels up and then like after nighttime and everything, it looks like all of her allies like get buffed, which is cool. Cygnus the Moonstalker. Striking late is lethal. Okay. Yeah. So it's like a time thing.
Blinds, but night
Late game, end game, mid-range maybe. Cool. Yeah, see, this is kind of an older trailer, you can tell. This is like when Legends of Runeterra first came out. All right, let me see if I can get a glimpse of the level up card, though. Okay, here's a glimpse at the level up card because it just went really fast. So I guess still 1 mana, but it's got a green, so it means it was like cheaper or something. All right, so Diana's a 3/3 with quick attack, Nightfall, or when you activate another Nightfall, give me +2 and Challenger this round. Okay, so she's very aggressive with the Challenger thing, and then, yeah, getting +2 attack. Cool, I like the level up animation. I love the little intro we got of her here. This was like a really cool animation at the front. Yeah, like this is awesome. Like she looks so cool there. Again, the armor and the blade is... All right, next up is the champion showcase for Leona and Legends of Runeterra. Ooh, we're getting, yeah, just like the Diana one, we're getting a cinematic here. A little in-game.
Shines within me.
Cool. Oh, wait. I gotta go back. How did I not read the card? Okay, so wait a minute. She has... See, this is like the older showcases. They didn't really show you the cards back then. All right, so 4 mana, 3/5. Oh, cool. 5 HP. Daybreak. Stun the strongest enemy. And then level up when you've activated Daybreak 4+ times. Cool. Leona lights up her foes. Yep.
Bask in the light's radiance.
Ooh, I like that animation. So, okay, so it stunned the enemy creature, so then they couldn't block. Her allies are also stronger when played at first light. Very nice.
The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across the mountain.
Carry her light across the mountain. Cool. Once day breaks 4 times, let's see this level up. I'm ready for it.
Behold the divine power of the sun.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, that was good. That was a good one. All right, let's read the card. So 4 mana, 4/6. Daybreak, or when you activate another Daybreak, stun the strongest enemy. Cool. Ooh, the Zenith Blade card. Leona stuns the strongest enemy. Stunning's good. I mean, that seems like a really good ability because they literally can't do anything, and that creature's basically dead on the board at that point. Creates combat advantage for sure. I like that she has the extra HP as well over like attack, but she still has like good attack. It's like the 3/5, 4/6. Like that's always good stats for cards. Cool.
I do not believe it. Daylight everlasting.
Cool. Yeah. Leona and Diana seem like really good cards. You guys will have to let me know, though. All right, we don't get these too often. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes, but we do have a login screen for Diana. So this is an 8-year-old champion theme. It's being called login screen because it's one of the older ones. It says featuring Lisa Thorne. So this is like kind of a different time in League of Legends, 8 years ago. So I don't know what kind of music we're going to get here. Let's go ahead and listen. Starting a little, oh. I should have expected singing. Oh, I want to get lyrics. Oh, we don't have lyrics. It's very, like, doom and gloom right now. Her voice is beautiful. She's asking about the sun. I feel like this is something you would hear in like a Lord of the Rings movie. Can only blind. I think I'm gonna pull up the lyrics after this. Man, her voice is so good. Oh, that was so short. I want to pull up the lyrics for that. Oh, I love that ending. Okay, let's pull up the lyrics. Okay, straight from Google. Apparently, they might have released it in 2019 fully here, but it says, "Ask not the sun why she sets, why she shrouds her light away, or why she hides her glowing gaze. When night turns crimson gold to gray, for silent falls the guilty sun. Ooh, as day to dark does turn. One simple truth she dare not speak, her light can only blind and burn." That part, I was like, wow. "No mercy for the guilty. Bring down their lying sun. Blood so silver black by night. Upon their faces pale white. Cruel moon, bring the end. The dawn will never rise again." I love those lyrics. Those are like very menacing against the sun and talking about like the moon just bringing down the sun. I love that actually. And then the lady's voice was very beautiful. So I really liked this login screen. You know, I love that login screen, you guys. I think that one is unique in its own case because obviously we have a singer number one. There's not too many that have that. And it was very, it almost brings lore a little bit, I would say. And obviously it's definitely very fitting for Diana. Okay, we're checking out a quick little Eclipse Leona skin teaser. And then there is also a trailer for it. So let's just take a look.
You arrived as shadows. Quiet, shifting, insidious.
I like her voice.
Corrupting all you touched. All that your hollow eyes could see.
Whoa, that artwork.
Tell
That shield.
Me which can a shadow survive my light?
Ooh.
Tell me, would you dare face me in the day?
Ooh, this skin is probably so cool.
Once I've scorched you from the night.
Once I've scorched you from the night. Wow. Yo, Leona, man, especially after reading her story, she is just kind of scary, dude. All right, here's the trailer. It's called The Coven and the Eclipse. Oh, dude, the drop-down hero pose. Okay, like a dark Leona looks so cool.
Foolish child.
Okay, dude, yeah, she looks awesome. There's probably no way this isn't going to be in my top 3. We'll see, though.
Purity of form.
Like that black armor with her bright hair. Ooh, dude, her shield is so big. My God.
Celestial fire, night's precious upon
Ooh. Was that the solar flare? Yeah. Ooh, cool. I think I like the one on the right a little bit more just because of the hair difference, but what's this? Oh, you're just seeing like the abilities? Cool. Yeah, that's a really good skin. I mean, whenever they get trailers like this, you know it's going to be a good skin. All right, guys, forgive me if I'm missing it, but I didn't see a login screen for just regular Leona. I only see one for the Solar and Lunar Eclipse Leona. So again, if I miss it, I'm so sorry. Otherwise, we're going to be reacting to this one. All right, so the Solar and Lunar Eclipse Leona. This is the badass skin that we just saw the trailer for. Let's just get a glimpse of what the music's going to be. Here we go. I feel like it's going to be dark because it's not, you know, it's like a darker version of Leona, I feel like. Oh, okay. See, in the artwork here, that skin looks really good. But I just like her hair being like this bright orange. It looks cool. You know, like the sun, obviously. Okay. Ooh. We're just getting some like soothing humming going on with this like frantic background melody. I like it. Okay. Oh, the drums are perfect here. I like how fast-paced this song is. Ooh. This feels glorious. I feel like that's like a perfect word for it since it's Leona. I love that the camera angle is us looking up at her like she's stepping on us. Listen. They did that on purpose, okay? Because she's good in combat, and of course we would be on the ground. That's why. I love how fast this is. I really actually like how fast it's going. Like a fast beat and melody like that with the humming. It's crazy. Okay, we got the breakdown. Actually, it's a 3.5 minute song. Yeah, I was gonna say we're only in the middle right now. Ooh, is that guitar? Are we getting actual? No, that's not guitar. I'm crazy. Is that a harp now? I don't know the instruments. This definitely sounds like plucking, at least. Dude, that humming is just like so relaxing. See, right there, it makes me sound like it sounds like it's a guitar, but I don't know. Are we gonna get one more build up? Is it gonna kind of go out this way? I'm fine with it going out this way. It's really relaxing. It almost feels like, dare I say, like, you know, with the sun just shining down on you, like that feel good from the sun. Kind of feels like that. I like that. That was good. I really liked when it built up real fast. I like the humming of the song as well, or the humming from the artist as well. Yeah, that one was really good. I don't know if I want to compare this to the Diana one because it's technically like a solar and lunar eclipse version. It's also much newer than the Diana one, but you know, I think they're both good. I don't know if I could choose which one I like better. You guys let me know though. Next up, we have the Vaulted Road cinematic. I believe we've seen this because I've seen like all of the cinematics, but kind of before I didn't have any context. This has Diana in it. I skimmed tiny bit through it, and I think I vaguely remember it, but I want to watch it kind of going in with the idea of what I have now about Diana, right? Because I believe it's about...
She's gone!
Like, Solari and Lunari lovers escaping. But let's get into it again. This will also give me a little bit of an insight into, like, Lunari, Solari a little bit, maybe.
The Solari will be here soon.
And the Lunari already are.
Do they all have silver hair?
I've seen this before. A vision in the pools. When
Oh,
the
speaking
moon
of an
blocks
eclipse,
the
by the
sun,
way, it just
our
happened.
path to freedom will be illuminated at Dragon's Roost.
I won't let them tear us apart, no matter the cost.
Is that the voice actor for Jace? It sounds like it. It's got kind of the Arcane style, actually, in this, too, doesn't it? You can really see it. All right, there's Leona. Listen, I don't know if I like Leona. She seems very stubborn, but I don't know. I don't know anything about Leona yet. Okay, here we go. There she is. This counts as a cinematic for Diana. Dude, she looks so cool, man.
It's almost time.
There's
So
no path. What do we do?
She's waiting for the
Have
eclipse.
faith.
Or she's really waiting for the sun to block, or the moon to block the sun, which is interesting.
Traitor.
Wait!
Lyra!
Oh. Lyra. Oh. Okay, now wait a minute.
Night and day are just two halves.
Oh.
Of the same circle.
Hmm. And then
You
they
see
come
now.
together as one.
Our path. Together.
Here we got a love story. Oh, there's her shield ability. I already forgot the name of it. That was cool. I saw the orbs and everything.
Have faith.
Now, what is this that's happening? Like, what is this path that they're walking up to? Well, I guess it's called the Vaulted Road, but... Okay. Lunari was there. I mean, Lunari. Diana was there to obviously try and protect him, but she doesn't need to. Huh. Okay. Oh. Oh, the look on her face. The look on her face is interesting. So is Diana's, actually. There was a lot going on there. Even in just like the way they looked at each other, it wasn't of hostility. Wow, I got a lot from that trailer, and I also kind of didn't get anything at the same time. So we see, we see the guy was from the Solari tribe or whatever, right? And then we got the girl, Lyra, was from Lunari. And Diana was there, I think, to protect them, to just prevent them from getting killed by the Solari people. And even Leona was like, oh, don't shoot, right? But she ended up getting shot. I don't know. It tells me a decent amount about Leona, actually, in an aspect. And I guess you guys let me know in the comments, what is this vaulted road? Like, where were they going? And it was clearly a part of Targon. Like, it was some sort of road that led them somewhere to, is obviously giving the idea of, like, somewhere they could go be safe and be together. Even though the sun and the moon are different, they're really not. I don't know. There's a lot going on there, but it also not really telling me much at the same time. So that was a cool cinematic, though. It had, like, a lot of the Arcane style that we see. All right, checking out the Leona skins, guys. We got quite a bit here. Of course, she is an older champion, so we're going to have that many. Let's go ahead and start looking at these. We'll start off with the first one in 3D. And again, I mean, the sword and the shield, such a great design. Like, all the spikes all around her crown, like these little, like, spikes around her head. It all looks really cool. Obviously, if you get anywhere near her, you're just going to get, like, stabbed even accidentally, I feel like. Okay, cool design. All right, next up is Valkyrie. Okay. I know Diana has a Valkyrie one as well, I think. All right. Ooh. It's a little too square for me. I missed the spikes already. It looks a little old school too, right? Yeah, not as good. The sword definitely isn't as cool. Like, the sword is super... is the sword usually that long? And the shield just also isn't as cool. All right, moving on. Next up is the Fender. Oh, she looks... even more she looks even more lame in this one. Okay, what did they do? I feel like, look, they had a cool sword and shield, and then they just made it more lame. They brought the spikes back at least, but it's just like, this is like a gladiator Leona, but like not in a good way. You know what I mean? It's like she downgraded her armor. Yeah, I'm not feeling that one. Let's move on. I know these older skins are going to be a little bit like this, but that's okay. Now we have Iron Solari. Okay, so it's an iron version. Ooh, the shield might be cool here. Ooh, the shield is pretty cool. And it's like iron gauntlets, iron armor, iron greaves, iron everything. The sword is really cool. I like the fact that it like goes one little bit and then the next one gets longer and longer. I don't know how practical that would be as a sword, but I do like the design of it. I'm going to put this one on the back burner. It's kind of cool. It's like an eagle a little bit. Like, this is an eagle shield, and then like the helmet's kind of like an eagle. It reminds me a little bit of Pharah's helmet in Overwatch. But yeah, all right, let's keep going. All right, we got, Pool Party Leona. I did not see that coming. I like the splash art. Cool. Pool Party. I do like my Pool Party skins. Okay. Well, the skin I really liked from Pool Party had a noodle as the weapon. This one has an umbrella. And a surfboard, half of a surfboard? Or is this just like a smaller version of a surfboard? Okay, I like the creativeness of it. The surfboard is funny as a shield. The umbrella is funny as well, but it just doesn't work. It's not for me. I think the sunflower in her hair is really nice, but I applaud the Riot team for the creative design on it. I don't think it's going to be my favorite. There's going to be probably much cooler skins coming up. Oh, we have a project one. Ooh, you guys know me. Here we go. Please don't be bad. Oh, why is the shield so bright? Do we have a different version? I have to see if there's a different color variation. I don't like that it's yellow. I wish they went with like more of like an orange or a red. I really like it though. It's like your traditional like cybernetic kind of warrior with a sword and shield. I like the little, I don't even know what you call these up here at the top. It kind of reminds me like what's on Gundam wings or whatever, or on like Gundams. It's cool. I don't know. Let's see if there's a color scheme. If not, like it's good, but it's not as good as it could be. All right, I don't see any color variations. This is probably a little bit, it looks like it's a little bit of an older project skin. So maybe if it came out a little bit later, there would be more colors, but that's unfortunate. Barbecue. Okay, we got Barbecue Leona. Let's check it. Oh my goodness. Okay, they're just doing funny skins for Leona. They made such a good like original skin for Leona that I feel like they had to go like kind of crazy with her skins and just do funny stuff. Okay, the skewer with the freaking hot dog is just ridiculous looking. Look at how big that thing is. And then this, the what do you would call this? Just a grill, I guess, as her shield. I mean, it's funny. I like the chef outfit. I will say I like the chef outfit a lot, actually, with the oven mitts. Okay, it's a good skin. It's a good skin. We'll put this one on the back burner, too. It's kind of funny. Like, the hot dog is so good. All right. Okay, here we go. Yep. I already knew these two were coming up. I see the next one. Lunar Eclipse and the Solar Eclipse. I've already mentioned that I think I like the Solar Eclipse more, but let's look at them both in the 3D model and see which one. Yeah, it's because the hair just stands out more. And, you know, obviously, like, Solar is more a Leona's thing, obviously. The shield. I mean, look at this shield, man. That is a menacing shield. I'm sorry. And the sword as well. And the crown. Like, this is peak, I feel like. There might be better, but I think Solar Eclipse is going to go in. Let's look at the next one. Okay, looking at the Lunar Eclipse one. Let's look at the 3D. Again, we saw this. Yeah, it's basically same thing, just a reskin. We got more purple in here, which I think, again, is good. You definitely, there's going to be people that have a preference between the two. I like the white hair, but I think I prefer the Solar version. All right, what do we have here? Oh, Mecha Kingdoms. We've had one other Mecha skin. I don't remember who it was for. I see we got some color variations, but let's look down into the 3D model first. Okay, Mecha Kingdoms. Now, this is more what I'm talking about. We got the Gundam look at the top again here. The sword is pretty cool. This, like, the change of color throughout the sword is really cool. Oh, the back. Oh my God, I didn't even see the back. Look at the jet pack. Or the jets, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, yeah. The shield is really cool on this as well. This is a rad skin. Let's look at the color scheme, but I think this one's going to be top 3. All right, color variations down here. Ooh, I like this darker one. I like that darker one, too, with the gold. Ooh. Yeah. Mecha Kingdom. The Mecha Kingdom skin, definitely going to go in the top 3, I think. For now, anyways. Let's see if there's any others. Oh, okay. Battle Academia. Ooh, I might end up liking this one. I can already tell. Let's look at the 3D, though. I see we have color variations as well. Look at that. I guess we could do it here, couldn't we? It's probably a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit faster to do it on the other screen. Oh, I actually like it in red. Oh, I like the red. Oh, dude. Okay, this skin's really good. The Battle Academia is really good. Let's just go with random colors here. Oh, the blue with the white, too. Yeah, guys. All right, this one's probably going to be top 3, I think, as well. The shield is really good. The sword, while not as, like, eccentric, not as big, I actually think I like the sword better than the Mecha Kingdoms in this. I think I like the sword and the shield better in this one. I kind of like the shoulder pauldrons as well. I like this one a lot. All right, top 3 for now. Whew, we got a few more left still. We'll see if this stays in. We got DWG Leona. Okay, let's take a look at this. It looks like there's a darker blue version of the one that's about to show up. Okay, here's the model for the DWG one. I want to see the darker blue because I don't like this lighter blue. Ooh. Okay, I really love the combination of like this blue with this black. I just think it goes so well together. And then with her white hair and then like the crown she has. Sword is good. The shield is good. The shield is like, it could be better though. It could be better. That one's question mark. I don't know. That one might stay. All right, Prestige Battle Academia is what we're looking at here. Oof. I mean, again, the shield, the sword. Obviously, we always get the gold with the prestige stuff. It looks really good. But I usually don't like picking the prestige versions. I like the regular ones because you get all the different color combos. But this one looks really good, too. All right, cool. I like it, but let's keep going. All right. Oh, we have Debonair. Okay, we've only seen, like, maybe one other Debonair skin. I can't remember who it was. Ooh, this is an interesting one. While personally, I don't know. I was going to say, personally, it's not like my style necessarily, and I don't think it is really. Let's try a different chroma on it. Ooh, I think I like that one. Do I like it better? Let's go with the blue. Ooh, I like the hair. I like it, but there's something about it that's not usually what I like. I say that, but this skin is freaking really good, guys. Don't be mad, but I think this might not be a top 3 for me. It looks really good, though. And we don't get Debonair skins very often. All right, next we have High Noon. Okay, cool. High Noon skin. Let's take a look. Usually don't like the High Noon skins. Oh my goodness, that shield is why the shield is so big I can't even see her. Whoa. Oh my god. Hold on. I think I've maybe put in a High Noon in the top 3 skins for one of the reactions like once. This might be another time. I know we got a couple more skins, but come on. Look at this thing. Let's try a different chroma here. With the red. Yeah, I mean, it still looks good. I don't really like the purple. Try the blue. The blue with the black looks good. Dude, yeah, this one looks fire. I think I like the original the most, personally. Ooh, okay, High Noon Leona top 3 for now. All right, and last but not least, we have Crystallis Motus. Oh, come on. Is this going to be like... Dude, the newest skin always trumps some of the other stuff somehow. All right, let's see. Oh, whoa. Okay, come on. I mean... I love this, like, crystal sword and the crystal shield. Again, the black. Like, the black pants look really good for some reason. And then with the purple, but let's see. Oh, is the model okay? I think the model might be broken. All right, yeah, that model's broken. Anyhow, you know, the pink hair, though. The pink hair, though. All right, it's not going to. I really like this one, but I'm going to go with my gut and say I love this skin. But let's go back. I'm going to pick the other top 3. All right, of course, guys, I want to hear from you what your favorite Leona skin is, but again, I think my favorites actually are, well, see, I said Iron Solari. I don't think it's Iron Solari. Oh, I thought Barbecue maybe as well. Okay, so Solar Eclipse, number 1. Mecha Kingdoms, actually, now that I think about it, Battle Academia is going to be our second top 3 skin. And then last but not least is actually going to be High Noon. So High Noon, I took Mecha Kingdoms out because I think Battle Academia is actually a little bit better because the sword and shield were better. High Noon, and then Solar Eclipse. Those are my 3 favorite skins. High Noon took me by surprise. They did a really good job on the High Noon skin. And we have a little bit of trivia. So it says Leona's dance resembles Shield Break by the Force Shielder from Cabal Online. No idea what that's referencing. Sunlight and Illumination have nearly identical functionality, with the only differences being who Leona's allies and Lux herself, respectively, and what any allied damage source and Lux's basic attack, respectively, triggers them. Okay, so they're very similar. Sunlight deals 1 less damage to champions wearing sunglasses. Stop. That's not true. Whether by default like Vayne or through a skin like Riot Graves or Surfer Singed. No way. Has anything weird like that happen in like a game or like a competitive play? I highly doubt 1 damage is going to make a difference like that. But that's so funny. Leona is the modern feminine derivative of ancient Greek name Lion from an Afro-Asiatic source. Okay. Her title, the Radiant Dawn, might be referencing Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn, and Hossos. Okay, I know Fire Emblem, those games on Nintendo. The Pi Dawn Goddess. Okay. A functional, real-life replica of Leona's Zenith Blade was crafted in an episode of YouTube series Man at Arms. Cool. Yeah. I would love to watch that. And then this video can be viewed here. Cool. And then all the other ones. Sweet. All right, we're checking out the Fandom Wiki. Of course, we're going to skip a lot of the stuff here at the beginning because it's a lot of just like repeat stuff that we've already read. But we're going to start off with modern history. So it says, Leona continued to lead the Solari as an avatar of their faith and was eventually appointed as the commander for the entire Raharok, gaining complete control and loyalty of all the Solari warriors. Though she seeks to preserve the religious dominance of the Solari, she has sworn to find and locate Diana in fear of what the aspect of the moon will do to her if she does not learn to control it. Right. So And you know, in terms of like lore, and maybe I'll mention this towards the end of the reaction as well, but like I really, in terms of like pushing this lore forward, I at some point want the Solari and Lunari to like become one with each other again, because like Diana saw those like drawings or whatever of like they used to be together. So I don't know, maybe that'll happen, but probably not anytime soon, right? All right, appearance, Leona is a tall, beautiful woman with lightly tanned skin, light brown eyes, and long back-length, shiny auburn reddish hair. Her attire consists of red and gold Solari armor that covers her entire body, a spiked golden crown on her head, and she always carries her sword and shield. Yeah, I mean, the design on Leona, like I really love the design on Diana, but I'm sorry, the design on Leona is just freaking super cool. Like her full armor with the sword and shield is just so badass. All right, personality. Leona is a devout and loyal Solari warrior willing to give her life in the name of the sun and her people. She has an incredibly strong force of will and evidenced by her early schooling, the trials she undertook before being imbued by the aspect of the sun, and her commitment to guiding the Solari as host to the aspect. She is a warm soul, especially with Diana, who was her closest friend and lover before her betrayal at the peak of Mount Targon. Many Solari demanded Diana's head due to this betrayal, but Leona instead endeavors to help her control the moon aspect's power before it destroys her. She still loves Diana despite her betrayal, but is unable to bring herself to reconcile with her, right? All right, abilities. Ooh, we got a lot here. Aspect host physiology. So Leona is the mortal host of the aspect of the sun. I want to look at the card again. Cool. The blessing her with incredible abilities tied to her aspect, as well as enhanced strength, speed, immunity to pain and sickness, and a dramatically increased lifespan. And then she has solar magic. So Leona's powers are tied to her aspect, granting her magical abilities tied to the sun. Leona can utilize this magic to summon solar flares from the sky to strike down enemies, as well as magically empower her sword and shield with solar energies capable of burning and searing her enemies in solar fire. You know what I'm a little curious about, and this might get buried in this reaction, this question, but I'm kind of curious because we have the night-day cycle, of course, in the world of Runeterra. Like, what happens when the sun is out and Diana wants to use her moon power? Is it weaker? And, you know, vice versa, right? Like, I imagine it's still just as strong, but maybe like when the sun is actually out, like Leona can be a little bit stronger, or when it's nighttime, Diana can technically be a little stronger. I would think that would be the case, but I don't know. Combat training, and I would say this is probably the one thing that Leona definitely has over Diana. Leona was trained in the elite Raharak, the highest order of warriors in the Solari faith. Leona's combat expertise was so exceptional that since childhood, nobody had doubts that she would one day become a member of the Raharak. Sword and shield proficiency. Leona is incredibly talented in combat with the traditional Raharak weapons of a sword and shield. Okay, Shield of Daybreak. Leona wields the Shield of Daybreak, which was summoned into her arms when she first emerged as the aspect of the sun. This legendary shield is inherently tied to the aspect and can be empowered with solar energies, allowing it to create a barrier of solar energy and emitting heat and light. And then the Zenith Blade. Leona wields the Zenith Blade, which was summoned into her arms when she first emerged as the aspect. This legendary sword is inherently tied to the aspect, blah, 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 allowing it to emit powerful light and heat. Okay, same thing as the shield. Oh, instantly searing flesh, though. All right, relations. What do we got here? Diana. Despite their disagreements, Diana and Leona were close friends and lovers growing up on Mount Targon, but have since become enemies after becoming aspects. The two expressed romantic interest during the Festival of Nightless Eve. Leona saw the moment Diana was imbued with the moon's power. She rushed to help before being imbued with the sun's power herself and made an aspect. Pantheon. Atreus climbed Mount Targon to find the power of aspects when Leona refused to destroy the trespassers that attacked his patrol. After he defeated Aatrox and became the new aspect of war, he opposes her and other Targonian aspects. Leona would not move against the barbarians because she knew Aatrox was slaughtering them, which Atreus would only understand later on. Yeah, okay, and that's in the call video that we get a lot of that, right? All right, Soraka refers to Leona as woman whose face burned like the sun. Cool. And then Aphelios and Elune, as the champion of the Solari, Elune sees Leona as the Lunari's ultimate enemy. I mean, true. However, like most of Lunari, she is not necessarily hostile towards Leona or the Solari. All right, is there anything we missed for Leona? There's the Radiant Dawn. We're not doing the Call of the Mountain video. There's the Rise With Me, and then the Call video, of course. We read that story, and then we watched that video. Cool. The only trivia on here says Leona has been confirmed to be a lesbian after years of speculation, to be debuting her kissing a woman in Rise With Me. Kissing a woman? Yeah, kissing Diana. And later specifically her being a lesbian in an announcement for 2023 Pride Month, where she and Diana are depicted with the lesbian flag. Cool. All right, getting into the skins of Diana here. It looks like she has a decent amount, which is pretty cool. I mean, she is an older champion, so I would expect at least like this much. let's go ahead and go through them, and I'll try to pick my top 3. Okay, here is the original skin. Again, like I've said throughout this whole reaction, I think she has a very badass design in my opinion. I really love the crescent blade as well. And yeah, just her overall design is really great. All right, next is Dark Valkyrie. I actually really love this skin. Hold on, a purple blade. The hair looks insane. Yeah, this is like a scarier version of her. I kind of feel like it looks like she's a little bit more like evil villain type of champion. I really like the little wings we have here. And then yeah, like the hair change is cool. The blade isn't purple like it is in the artwork, but still love this overall design. I think it's really good. I don't know if it's top 3 yet. Ooh, next we have Lunar Goddess. This one looks like it has a bunch of different colorways, but let's look at the 3D model here. Oh, why does her face look weird? Her face looks kind of weird here. Okay, let's look at the design and everything. Oh, the blade is a little bit different here. It doesn't have like the full like crescent to it, but I like it. Let me look at the colorways because I don't know if I really like this 3D model actually. All right, here's the different colors of it. I mean, yeah, Lunar Goddess, while it has all these different colorways, I don't think I really like it. There's something weird about her face in this one. All right, next we have is Infernal. Ooh, let's look at the 3D on this one. Oh, interesting. Oh, I was going to say she has spiky hair, but not spiky hair. Oh, I actually love the design on this. Infernal looks really cool. There's something really weird about the 3 little pyramids. The diamonds in the front. But actually, no, the diamonds are fine. I think they're actually kind of unique as well. I really love the Infernal skin. I think it's just because I do like the color overall of the Infernal skin. And then the armor looks sick and the blade looks sick. So yeah, I like this one. Let's put this in the top 3 for now. Blood Moon. Oh, we've seen a few Blood Moon skins, but this one, man, the artwork on these, the splash art is insane. Oh, here we go. We got the mask. What is this kind of mask called? I don't even know what they're called, but you know what I mean? Like this kind of mask, you see them all the time. Oh, I love her claws here. What? And then the blade with the red on the blade. Okay, Blood Moon, 1000%. Well, hold on. I was going to say 1000% going in the top 3. What's with the shoulder poof? The shoulder poof? I don't know. There's something weird about the shoulder poof. The hair color is awesome, and the reddish, like pinkish color here is awesome as well. Something weird about the shoulder poof. I'm going to hold off on putting it in the top 3. All right, we have Dark Waters. Ooh, it's like a dark pirate version of Diana. This looks good. Ooh, she almost looks like a ghost pirate because her skin is like so pale and everything. And then the hair is interesting. It's almost like she's got like dreads here, it looks like. Oh, and then it's got the little like pirate scimitars have that like little I don't know what the thing is around the hilt here, the spiral on it. I think that's like a staple of pirates kind of, or just scimitars in general. So it's like a combination of a scimitar and like a crescent blade. And it also looks kind of like a harpoon as well. I like that design. This is kind of cool. I really like the hair color on this one too. This one's really good, but I don't know if it's top 3 just yet. Next is Battle Queen. Oh, dude, the splash arts every time are just insanely good. All right, Battle Queen Diana. Okay, this is top 3. I mean, because off the bat, I have literally no complaints. The color scheme of like the blue with the gray and then like the white little, the white hair and then the white on the bottom of the blue here is so good. Wow. Okay, this actually might be my favorite skin so far. I mean, she just looks badass in this, in my opinion. And fitting skin title of Battle Queen, she looks like a Battle Queen to me. I love the greaves too that she's wearing. Dude, she looks so cool in this. This is by far my favorite skin. And then she's got the little thing in her hair back here as well. Dude, okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, next up is the Prestige version. Okay, let's look at this one. So we're going to have some gold in here, it looks like. Ooh, I don't know if I like this one as much. I mean, it's good. It's got the same style, right, in a sense. Obviously, the blade is gold this time. But see, it's missing that blue. And then like her pants were like this maroon color that I really liked. And see, the greaves aren't as dark. This is like a lighter version of it. I like it. I do love the thing in her hair as well. I like this, but I do like the other Battle Queen better. All right, 4 more skins here. I'm afraid something's going to trump Battle Queen because that Battle Queen skin is insane. Sentinel. Okay. So was she part of the Sentinels? I don't remember her ever being a part of the Sentinels. It says Sentinel Diana. Okay, we got all these little color schemes, but let's look at the 3D first. Ooh. Oh, I like that we got like one leg showing here and the other side is not showing. That's kind of cool with the design. Oh, the blade might be the highlight here. Holy crap, that blade looks insane. And then I do like the dark, I guess it's almost like black armor. It kind of looks like a dark gray or dark silver or whatever. And then, yeah, hair looks good. Face looks good. I like this one. I want to look at the colorways, though. All right, the colorways here. That second one was like some caramel color. That looked disgusting, to be honest with you. Yeah, ooh, I like this blue here. I mean, I think I just like the color blue or something, apparently. You know, there's something weird about the Sentinel one. Maybe we won't find another better one than this, but there's something weird about it. All right, next is Firecracker. I don't think we've seen any Firecracker, or maybe we have seen some Firecracker skins. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, Firecracker Diana. Ooh, I like the highlight, like the two different hair colors. That's really neat with the green like blade up there. That's nice. It's like a jade weapon. Yeah. And then she's got like a jade crescent blade as well. Very cool. I like it. I do like it. It's not wowing me like Battle Queen. I don't know if anything's going to wow me like the Battle Queen skin just yet, but I do like this one. This one's really good. Let's see if any of the colorways could sway me maybe into liking this and putting in the top 3. No, they're kind of just weird. Yeah, no, it's okay, but let's keep going. All right, Winter Blessed. For some reason, I feel like I've seen this artwork. It might be just because it's a little bit newer of a skin and I've seen this artwork somewhere. All right, let's look at it in 3D. Winter Blessed. Oh, why is her hair like a magic carpet in the back? What's going on there, Diana? Okay, so blade, cool. I don't like that. Oh. So half of it is like a robe. The other half is like a shorter version. I like the creative design, but I don't know if it's for me either. Okay, I'm saying like, I'm acting like I'm not liking any of these skins. I really am liking these skins, but for some reason the Battle Queen skin just like set the bar really high for me, that I haven't found one to go up to the par with that. But this is still good. These are all really good. These last several skins. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm being really picky all of a sudden. Okay, I like it. Let's look at the colorways. All right, any of these colorways going to sway to me? I think it's the hair that's kind of meh for me, and the blade is kind of just okay. Like, some of the blades on the previous ones have been pretty insane. All right, this one's okay. And last but not least, we have Heaven Scale. Now, this one is newer. Ooh, the splash art is wild. All right, 3D model. Oh, ooh, I love the blade. I love the horns on top, actually. Pink hair, horns on top. I love the outfit. I love the little bracelet here on both sides. And she's got like a dragon scale hand on the right as well. Yeah, all right, guys. I think this newer skin... Are her feet out? Oh, there's going to be some feet people that really like that. Anyways, yeah, all right. I think Heaven Scale is going to take it here. Let me look at the colorways, but this one, it's more my style, more my vibe. I'm really enjoying this last skin. All right, looking at the colorways as well. Ooh, I think I'm discovering I really like blue on League of Legends skins for some reason. Oh, I do like the black and gold, though, actually, there, too. Oh, yeah, some of these colorways are pretty good. I'm liking some of the darker ones. Not really like the pink one. Okay, yeah, all right, guys. I think this, I'm actually keeping the Infernal one, too. For some reason, I know it only had the one type of Infernal skin. There was no other, like, colorways or anything. I really liked the Infernal skin, personally. Nothing comes close to Battle Queen. I'm sorry, the Battle Queen skin is by far one of my favorite skins I think I've seen. That might be a bold statement. That might be a very bold statement, but I don't know. There's something about this Battle Queen skin that is just fire to me. And then Heaven Scale is going to be our last skin to round out the top 3. Let me know what your top 3 skins are, or just let me know what your favorite Diana skin is in the comments. All right, we have a little bit of trivia on the skin page as well. It says Diana derives from Pi root dew to shine. I don't know. Okay. She shares her name with Diana, a Roman goddess of the moon. Okay. And Diana is the first champion to feature animations for when affected by both crowd control and movement speed buffs. Moonfall's indicator above Diana references the lunar phase. Oh, that's cool. So 1 enemy is a new moon, 2 enemies is waning crescent, 3 enemies last quarter, 4 enemies waning gibbous, and 5 enemies full moon. Oh, that's awesome. I like that aspect. And then it says a functional replica of Crescent Moonblade was crafted in an episode of the YouTube series Man at Arms Reforged. Oh, that's awesome. I actually would love to watch that. I've watched a few of those Man at Arms where they like craft like video game blades and stuff like that. That's really cool. It says there are also videos on Katarina, Leona, Master Yi, Poppy, Yasuo, and Ziggs. Oh, I might like do a reaction or something to those because those would be really fun to watch. All right, everybody, we are on Diana's Fandom Wiki, and a lot of this stuff in here is from the long story that we read, Rise With Me, about, you know, Diana and Leona meeting in the school of the Solari and everything, and kind of that whole stuff there. All right, we have this section here called Traveling Runeterra. Following her visions, Diana seemingly went missing and began traveling across the world, either running from something or following some unknown mission. Well, she's looking for her Lunari stuff. At some point, Diana fled Targon and traveled to Ionia for unknown reasons. While fleeing out of Targon, Diana left behind her crescent-shaped blade on a distant snowy peak around Mount Targon. Okay, wait, where is that mentioned, where she leaves her crescent blade? I feel like that was mentioned in another reaction, maybe the Aphelios reaction, because we find it in that, don't we? All right, we have Confronting Leona. At some point, Diana returned to Mount Targon and found a large majority of Lunari followers emerging out of hiding, inspired by her arrival as the new aspect of the moon and seeking to fight back the oppressiveness of the Solari. When a Lunari Shadestalker named Lyra was captured by the Solari, her mentor Cygnus, oh, this is the cinematic, okay, gathered several Lunari warriors to save her, including Diana herself. Lyra having fallen in love with a Solari boy. This is very much the same story of Leona and Diana, but it's with a male and a female. Was able to escape herself, and Diana saw the two of them fleeing the Solari soldiers at a cliff known as Dragon's Roost. Oh my god, that makes more sense now in the cinematic why Leona doesn't want that Solari soldier to shoot, because it very much represented the same story of her and Diana. Oh my god, I put it together. That's crazy. Unfortunately, Lyra was killed when an arrow struck her in the chest as she tried protecting her Solari lover. At that moment, Diana witnessed the moon eclipse the sun, illuminating the edge of Dragon's Roost and allowing the two to ascend into the heavens, turning them into celestial constellations that depicted their love. Oh, so that's what happened. As the Solari soldiers headed back to the tribe, Diana saw Leona for the first time in years leading the Solari soldiers. Though she initially held her weapon up as a threat, she slowly lowered it when Leona noticed her from afar, silently agreeing to not fight this day as the two stared at each other longingly before going their separate ways. Oh, it's so sad. Over the years, the two would clash with one another in small skirmishes, as Leona continuously tried to convince Diana to let go of her connection to the moon, while Diana continued her search for answers through the Aspect's visions. Eventually, the two Aspects prepared to fully face one another in combat. As Diana stood among her Lunari followers, they gave her prayers protection for the upcoming battle and coated her weapon in dusk petal dust. Where did I miss this read? Where is this story? On the day of the battle, Diana raced down the mountain's peak with the intention of catching Leona's attention, drawing her into a position where she'd get the upper hand. Okay, we don't get the finish to that. And then we have joining the Sentinels of Light in the Return of the Ruined King. Yeah, see, I don't remember her ever being a part of the Sentinels. Sorry, I got an itchy ear, y'all. Diana at some point returned to Targon to look for any trace of the Lunari. On her way, she encountered the Sentinels of Light. Diana volunteers to guide them up Mount Targon to fight off the threats of the Ruination. The Sentinels recruit new members, which includes Diana, turning her into Sentinel Diana. She attains a new uniform and a relic sword by Gwen. After the Sentinels take down Viego, every recently recruited Sentinel lays down their Sentinel weapons and cloaks to return to their regular lives. Okay, yeah, for some reason I'm totally forgetting that I guess Diana was a part of the Sentinel. All right, appearance. Diana is an incredibly slender woman with pale white skin and eyes the color of lavender. Sounds good to me. Though her hair was initially black as the night sky, it quickly turned into a striking silver color when she ascended as an Aspect host. Now, and as an Aspect, Diana bears a glowing white sigil of the Lunari on her forehead, which acts as a symbol of her celestial powers. As makeup, Diana has striking dark eyeshadow along with black lines that vertically cross her eyes. She dons dark blue clothing with bright silver armor plates on her shoulders, forearms, and breastplate. Her entire outfit is adorned with crescent-shaped accessories and details that are customary of the Lunari. Diana's signature moon silver blade is bright silver, crescent-shaped, and glows a deep ethereal blue when she activates her abilities. Personality. Diana as a child was a quite rebellious and undisciplined girl, since many times she did not obey the rules of the Solari, and that led her to isolate herself from everyone. The only person who understood her was Leona, whom she always treated with respect. With time, the two became best friends and eventually lovers. Diana was also quite curious, and she was more curious about the moon and the Lunari tribe, whom the Solari looked upon with hatred and abhorrence. After becoming the Aspect of the moon, Diana tried to convince Leona to leave Mount Targon together. However, Leona only wanted to return to the Solari. This disagreement soon turned into a titanic battle. Diana chose to flee rather than strike down her only friend and lover. Diana is driven by the idea that the Solari and Lunari were once close before and could be again. In recent times, she has dedicated herself to guiding the Lunari and helping them move forward. Because she does not fully control her aspect powers, Diana can cause great destruction when she explodes in anger, which causes her powers and emotions to go out of control. Ooh, I love that, actually. Yeah, we've heard little like glimpses in the things that we've read about her and her anger, and like her powers get kind of insane. Yeah. Okay, so we got abilities here. Aspect host physiology. Diana is the mortal host of the aspect of the moon, blessing her with incredible abilities tied to her aspect, as well as enhanced strength, speed, immunity to pain and sickness, and a dramatically increased lifespan. Lunar magic. Diana's powers are tied to her aspect, granting her magical abilities tied to the moon. Diana can utilize this magic to summon beams of moonlight that can produce burning white flames, summon moonbeams from the sky, empower her crescent blade with lunar energies, and even go as far as to reverse the effects of blessings granted by the sun, such as Shuriman Ascension. Wait. That last one seems pretty crazy. So she can reverse the effects of a blessing. She can reverse the effects of a Shuriman Ascension? Is that freaking true? Moon Silver Blade. Diana wields the Moon Silver Blade, a crescent-shaped scimitar made of a material that is infused with magic of the moon. This legendary blade is inherently tied to the aspect of the moon and can be empowered with lunar energies, allowing it to fire off blasts of light and even produce silver flames of moonlight. Rhetoric Mastery. As a child, Diana was incredibly skilled in her oratory class, which mainly focused on the subjects of logic, verbal debates, and rhetoric. Despite her constant questioning of the Solari and doubts in their faith, her arguments were incredibly concise and extremely well constructed to the point that her former lover, Leona, personally asked Diana to help her in her own studies. Yeah, we love smart people, okay? We like smart people. All right, relations. Of course, we have Leona. Despite their disagreements, Diana and Leona were close friends and lovers growing up on Mount Targon. The two expressed romantic interest during a festival of the Nightless Eve. Leona saw the moment Diana was imbued with the moon's power. She rushed to help before being imbued with the sun's power herself and was made an aspect. The two became enemies after being chosen as the hosts of the aspects. Although they still have feelings for each other, they cannot show it due to the Solari and Lunari rivalry. My question, though, is why did the two aspects of the sun and moon decide to take them as hosts? Did they think that they would actually, because they were lovers, they thought, oh, this is our time to have us, the Solari and the Lunari, come together again? But it backfired, maybe? I don't know how the aspects work, or do they even think at all, right? All right, Nami. Yeah, here we go. Nami is traveling to Ionia to find Diana and requests she conjure a moonstone, a super rare stone from a piece of the moon that broke off and embedded in the mountain eons ago, to save the Mirai from being overrun by the Voidborn invading the Guardian Sea through a dimensional rift. Right, yeah, that was the big thing about Nami's story that I thought was interesting, that she's seeking out Diana, because these two are totally different people from two very different worlds on Runeterra. It was interesting. Aphelios and Elune. Aphelios is looking for Diana to find out why she is running. That's it. Oh, okay. Soraka. Diana met a celestial being descended from the astral grove. Soraka refers to Diana as the pale-haired woman / sable-haired girl. Okay, I remember that mention. And then Ruined Pantheon. Diana joined the Sentinels of Light to stop the threats of the resurrected Pantheon, who was under the control of Viego. Oh, okay. I think I did remember reading that now. So that's the connection. All right, so we read the biography. We watched this in another reaction. I didn't want to watch it here. I didn't think it was necessary. We read this short story. We have the Rise of the Sentinels game. We did read this, Rise With Me. And then this video now makes a lot more sense to me. All right, everybody, we got the skin spotlight special interactions in Legends of Runeterra for Leona and Diana. Now, I always know, like, possibly that there might be, like, a voice line or two that we miss. Again, I'm just using the skin spotlights video. I try to find as many as I can, so please forgive me if for some reason we, like, miss a voice line or two, because, you know, I try to scour the internet for as many voice lines as possible, but sometimes it really is just impossible to find them all, guys. But all right, this is the skin spotlights video. We got Legends of Runeterra. We're just going to do Diana and Leona back to back. They're just set up that way. So we're just going to find all the voice lines. There's obviously going to be like a lot of repeat probably voice lines too, because literally these two champions intersect with one another with their storylines and their lore and everything. So we're probably going to hear a lot of the same stuff. All right, the video just starts off with Diana, so we'll just go with that.
I am Targon's daughter who will unite the heavens.
Unity is not conquest, Leona.
Wherever
I
go,
agree.
you are never far behind. When night falls, I know that you are with me.
Ooh.
The tribes of Sun and Moon once had peace.
A peace built on lies would never last.
Leona, listen. Listen, girl.
These allies, you're full of surprises.
Ever at odds, but never apart.
Day needs night. You've seen the visions.
It's
Visions
true.
from memories, not my own.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so they never really like fully go into detail about like the memories of the aspects, right? Because they both get other memories of the people that have had the aspect before. They never go into detail about them, but them mentioning it there is pretty cool. And Leona is just like, oh, they're not real. You know what I mean? They're not my memories. Like, come on.
Since I stayed my blade and spared your life, Leona,
Would you have slain me then, knowing what I'd become?
Ooh.
The sun's
Oh my
light
God.
on-
She's asking the real questions.
Alone brings life.
ours
That's
is
true.
the same light.
Solari faith is the burning light of the sun.
Lunari faith is the sharp gleam of light in darkness.
Diana's like, I can copy
The
you.
light of day reveals the truth.
Daylight blinds, but night renews.
They're literally just like, they're just kind of like saying the same thing, but for their respective aspects.
Night flowers upon my blade.
Okay, here we
The
go.
promise of a new moon upon you, Bloom Tender.
Constellations are stories in the sky.
Moonlight
true.
ebbs, so the stars may be heard.
Moon Dream. Oh, Nocturne. Hold on. I just have to pause because I don't think we've ever had a voice line with Nocturne. No, that's probably wrong. But the light is
Moonlight
fading.
cloaks the land in silver.
Embrace the darkness.
I'm curious.
Even a full moon has a dark side.
Oh, Dark Side of the Moon. I'm curious why we're getting voice lines with him.
When will we strike?
Soon, a blood moon hails the sun's demise.
A blood moon.
We strike. when
See,
the sun
okay,
goes
hold on. Now we're getting into like different kinds of moons, which is really cool because we got the sun, right? That's it. The sun. We don't got different, versions of the sun. We got our sun, but the moon.
Her light retreats. Our time approaches.
Tonight they'll pay for their crimes in blood.
So it has come to this.
The
Oh,
Solari
that's
brought
Cygnus.
this
Is that the guy
bloodshed
that
upon themselves.
Hold on. I have to pause. Isn't that the guy in the cinematic where he where Lyra dies and he walks up to the stars to become a constellation?
This war is old as Solari and Lunari alike.
Daylight fades and dusk soothes.
As the moon rises, quiet reflection begins.
I am more myself than ever.
The Traveler.
You have found your own way in the darkness.
Okay.
Now they see who I truly am.
They will know you in all your phases.
Yeah,
When
the
will
moon has
this
different
bloody
phases. That's what's
conflict
cool.
End?
All things in cycles. Someday we will be one.
I hope so.
Your favorite star.
Ooh.
I created it.
Typical Aurelian Soul voice
Your
line.
stars are worthy attendants of the moon.
Attendance of the moon.
Unheard.
The new moon
I like her
conceals
voice.
you from our foes. Act with caution.
Man, we got a lot of voice
Strike
lines here. I love
when
it.
The moment is right. Causing trouble again,
The trickster.
The full moon awakens the soul. Arise
like a
in
werewolf?
our time of need. They will not outrun us.
Man, they gave her a lot of voice
What
lines. This is
tidings
awesome.
From the sky, proud warrior. Final sunset.
Now this is
I
Ally
need
dying.
your light.
Oh.
Open your eyes. If you'd believed.
Dude, some
My
of these voice lines
closest
are hitting
enemy.
deep.
The
My
words
closest
of the
enemy.
heretic rang true. A full moon casts her light across the land. We speak, and they will hear us. I will not abandon my beliefs. The Lunari will not live in fear.
Ooh, I love that.
My patience wanes. Come, a new phase awaits.
Ooh, a new phase awaits.
The heaven.
All right, cool. So I think that stops the Diana part. We're moving on to the Leona part. But man, I enjoyed all of those voice lines. Little surprising that we're getting some stuff with Nocturne. You guys will have to let me know. Maybe it's just because isn't he the demon of nightmares, right? And just being related to the moon and like darkness and everything like that. Maybe that's why we're getting a little interaction there. I don't know. A lot of the interaction with Diana and Leona really like they all hit in the feels a little bit. Like especially these ones at the end where it was like when an ally dies or when an enemy dies, when Leona would die as an ally, like she really felt it, All right, but I won't talk too much. Let's just go into more voice lines.
The heavens are divided, Diana.
But sun and moon are ever linked.
Fate has delivered me
True.
to you once again.
Our destinies are entwined.
Come into the daylight, Diana.
No.
It was the Solari who tried to drive us into darkness.
Ooh.
The Solari will not suffer heretics or their lives.
The Solari cannot tell heretics from true believers.
Literally, they just keep repeating
Shieldless
themselves.
warrior is a reckless fool.
We've no need for shields. Our hearts are laid bare.
Dude, okay.
War is everlasting.
Oh God, that voice.
I will shield my people as long as I draw breath.
Snuff out the light.
Oh, here we go, Nocturne again.
Abomination.
Abomination. That
Sunlight
sounds
is
like what Leona
unrelenting,
would say.
As I must be.
Even the sun must set.
Ooh.
Atreus
Ooh, hold
was
on, hold on. I feel like Tarek just hit her with a zinger, bro. I really do feel like he did.
I am so much more than any human.
Ooh.
No.
Okay, this is if
I couldn't
Diana
save
dies.
you.
See, you
I
can
need your
really,
light.
you can really feel like the emotion there when, as an ally, if Diana or Leona dies, like they really care about each other.
My closest enemy.
Okay, same thing.
Heavens weep. Return to the sky.
Hmm.
Protect our people.
Ooh, Sun Guardian.
A sacred guardian fueled by holy light. Defend our sacred ways.
Okay.
Burn on forever.
The Immortal Fire.
Light and fire are the origins of life.
I mean, you're kind of
Our
right.
deeds will be written in the heavens. Daylight everlasting.
No, please.
Sol Invictus. This is but one sunset. The
Ooh,
skies
calling a defeat a
darken.
sunset. I like that.
Daylight is unrelenting, but not eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Strike while the planets align.
Hmm.
Dragon.
All right, as always, let's go ahead and see if there's any more voice lines we can find.
The moon's
Okay, we got
opal
a Tarek
shine
one.
is the light of harmony.
We are all equal under her light.
Okay, Tarek
Each
likes
act
the
of
moon, it
heresy
seems.
Is an act of passion.
When we are honest with ourselves, we truly shine.
Okay, true.
Every gem you bestow reflects.
Okay, so I don't know. With the voice lines with Tarek and Diana, I didn't mention that, but it seems like he's a little bit like on her side. I don't know where Tarek aligns or anything like that. And I don't even know if he believes in the whole Solari Lunari stuff. So you guys let me know about that. And another thing to note is he didn't have an interaction with Leona when I scrolled through here. So I don't know. It seems like he is leaning towards Diana's side.
Question
The
all
Golden
that
Sister.
you are told.
A disobedient child.
Hmm. I mean, Diana definitely questioned everything she was told.
Now is one.
Hmm.
Somewhere I know she feels your presence.
Chosen of the sun. A shining warrior.
Okay. I kind of want to hear these two.
Heavens.
Let's see if we get anything spicy from this.
One robed in silver's glow.
Yeah, see, we might get a little bit more context with these two.
Clad in golden flame.
Though both were formed of cosmic light,
Hmm.
they fought, for they were two alike.
Hmm.
And so these two split night from day.
Okay, we're getting like
So
the
each
story.
could
This is cool.
always have their way.
Wow, I love the rhyming. Good job, guys. Okay, all right, the warrior, calm down.
Of the moon.
Oh, here we go.
We open our hearts to her gentle light.
Mhm.
Injustice must.
All right, nothing else there.
Find your own light within the darkness.
Yours
That's a good
is
point.
light I cherish, Moon Sister.
Hmm.
New moon rises.
Silver sliver glow and grow.
What? What did you just say?
First light illuminates the land.
Let's hear
One of
Leona's.
burning gold, whilst the others pale and cold.
Okay, the Moon Dreamer just likes to rhyme, I guess.
Chosen of the sun.
Follow moon or sun, silly child, are they not one?
Ooh, got you
Passive
there,
orbits.
Leona.
Our most sacred champion.
Both mortal and divine are within me.
True.
Divine light shines within me.
True.
What kind of divinity champions persecution?
True.
Mother
Leona just gives off paladin vibes, right? I didn't even think about that till now. She's very much your typical, like when you think of an RPG paladin, that's kind of what Leona gives off.
Each act of heresy is an act of passion.
Any act of heresy will be punished.
Mmm.
dawn
Solari
has
soldiers are
arrived.
crazy, bro.
Carry her light across the mountain.
Chosen of the moon.
Solari shield bearer.
of cowards and blasphemers.
Even the soldiers are so like, I guess the soldiers on both sides, really. Actually, here, we're about to have two soldiers interact. What do they say?
You trespass on sacred lands, unbeliever.
Unbeliever.
You know not the meaning of sacred.
I like the Lunar Shadestalker better.
Find your own light within the darkness.
Your light is a lie. The dawn has arrived.
Okay, they're just saying the
its
same
light,
stuff.
The Solari will unite the heavens. The dawn has arrived.
Yeah, the dawn's arrived.
Question all that you are told.
See, I think that's so wise that Diana says this, and yet Leona basically says no to that. I think, isn't the smart thing to question most things you're told? All right, guys, that's what we found for Legends of Runeterra voice lines between these two. This was good. I really enjoyed it. You know, they're very much at odds with one another still. Like, I mean, obviously you can tell Leona is very much stuck in her ways. The Solari is the only way, blah, blah, blah. But you can still tell that Leona cares for Diana very much, even in some of the voice lines that we heard, like with with Diana's death, Leona felt very much, you know, care for her and vice versa. But Diana, again, is still kind of pushing Leona. She's like, why are you still not believing this? Why are you still not believing that the Solari and Lunari were once one? And then I really, like, the biggest thing that piqued my mind was when we heard that Diana was like, didn't you get those memories too from the aspects? And you're really questioning those memories that we received from these, like, celestial beings. And then Leona's like, they're not my memories. Why should I believe them? So it's just like that thing right there kind of tells you exactly how the two think about things. It's very much like Leona's stuck in her ways. She's like, this is what I know to be right. Until I know otherwise, I'm not going to change my mind. Diana's more of the skeptic, right? And like Diana will question more than anything. Again, with her voice line of like, question all that you are told. Yeah, I mean, those are pretty much just their two mindsets. They're never going to change. I don't see any event or anything really ever changing their minds unless, and I could not think of a specific thing to happen unless like somehow the celestial aspects or whatever somehow told them specifically like, hey, the Solari and Lunari need to come together. But I don't know how that would ever happen. Anyways, I really enjoyed these voice lines. You know, the Legends of Runeterra stuff is always newer, so that's always great. You know, the League of Legends voice lines, since these are super old champions, they're not going to be up to date or anything like that. So usually the Legends of Runeterra stuff, great newer voice lines as well. So it's always a treat to listen to the Legends of Runeterra ones. All right, guys, and as an extra bonus, I'm going to do like the old voice lines for Leona and Diana. I know there are like the skin voice lines and special interactions that we could take a look at, like the Solar Eclipse Leona, I think is one that we could listen to. But what I'm going to do is like all these little like skin voice lines for these other universes, I'm going to separate those and do those in like separate videos. I'm going to start doing like voice line videos probably during the middle of the week and just do specific ones and just, you know, just to see how they go. I don't want to do them in these little reactions, especially this one, because this is definitely going to be like a longer reaction. So both of these are only about a minute and a half long. We'll do the Leona one first. We'll do the Diana one, and then we'll just talk about this whole reaction. All right, these are going to go very fast, so let's try to keep up with them.
Twilight fades.
I know they're old, though.
I will break their line. They'll have to get through me. Feel the sun's glory. They will be sundered. Stand and fight.
Oh, death noise. Okay. Now, are these like death noises still in the game, even though they're like 11 years old? I wonder if they update them, yeah? Like, are all of these 11-year-old voice lines just scrapped and gone? Okay. We're getting the attack noises.
Don't stare directly at me for too long.
Ha, I like that. Okay. That makes sense.
I think I broke a nail. Good thing it wasn't mine.
Oh, she got me. I'll be honest. Oh, that laugh is a little evil. Yeah, these are some evil laughs, man. I guess everybody tends to have an evil laugh in this game, though.
I will protect you. First light approaches.
Okay.
Rally to me. The sun always
Rally to me. I
rises.
feel like I've heard that.
Stay at the vanguard. I must not fall. Chosen of the sun. Ever vigilant.
Okay. It's got to be hard to do some of these voice lines where you're like supposed to be acting like you're attacking with a sword.
Try to leave a dent.
Okay, the last one about leaving a dent, and then the one about don't stare at me too long. Great voice lines. I think those were the two best of the older voice lines here. But again, yeah, I have a question about like, do any of these stay in, or are these like totally gone now? Because I know 11 years ago was like the old League of Legends, and I have no idea what like converted over when they updated the game. All right, same warning as the other one. These go pretty fast, so let's try to keep up.
This is necessary. Ignorant thralls.
Oh,
Bring
Diana's
down the
scary.
sun. They leave me
Bring
no
down the
choice.
sun.
Deny me no longer. Blind to the truth. No more lies.
Oh my. Jeez. Jeez, good job, voice actor. Those death noises are kind of jolting.
A man, a woman, and a yordle walk into the sun.
Oh.
They die. Because it burns them alive?
All right.
Knock, knock.
Oh, another joke?
Who's there? The moon.
Uh-huh.
It's far away. You were alone the whole time.
Oh my god. That was terrible, Diana.
Chosen of the moon. They would not listen.
This sounds pretty similar to what we heard in Legends of Runeterra.
Follow no false light. I cannot turn back. The moon also rises. My eyes are open. I speak only truth. They could not break me. Embrace the night.
Embrace the night. I like that. That's Batman vibes.
Nightfall. Dusk. Twilight fades. Night approaches. They called
She's
me
yelling at me, I feel like.
Now they are dead. The moon will rise. The night will last forever. Ha! 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 Ha!
I mean, the jokes were probably the best part. Other than like, we didn't get any evil laughs from Diana, which is interesting because she kind of seems like she's not necessarily the more evil one, to be honest with you. But you know, we got some kind of evil laughs with Leona, it seemed like. But we got 2 jokes with Diana. The second one about the moon and you being alone was kind of sad, actually. She's like, the moon's not there. The moon's too far away. You're alone. All right, those were good. Again, same question. Are any of these voice lines still in the game, or are they totally like just gone and no longer in the game? I'm always curious to know like what they still have in the game itself, since they're the older champions. You know, what do they even currently have, because they haven't redone voice lines or anything for them. So I'm always curious to know. And like I said earlier, if you guys want another video basically on like the Eclipse Leona special interactions and maybe like the Diana special interactions for the other skins, let me know. Again, I'm going to start doing some like special interaction / voice line videos, I think, in the week that are going to be like a lot shorter and just more honed in and specific. Maybe on like some of the champions we've already taken a look at in the past, and maybe work on some of those. All right, if you're still here at this point in the video, I appreciate you guys checking out this reaction. This was a bit of a longer one. You know, we did a Kayle and Morgana one way back then. And then we also have done a Zion Rakan one kind of more recently. So these are a little bit longer. It's kind of like a double feature for you guys. This made sense to do them both together. I actually almost started just doing Diana by themselves because there was a lot of recommendations to do Diana. But then it made sense to do both of them at the same time. I think it would have been kind of a waste to do Leona a little bit later and not do Diana and Leona together. All right, so, I mean, this is another like pairing in the League of Legends universe that I really enjoyed taking a look at. I still have like this kind of mystery going on with the Solari and the Lunari and kind of like what their pasts were like, because, you know, we got those memories from the aspects. We got the like cave drawings. I say they're cave drawings, but Diana discovered something. I think it was in her biography where she discovered like she saw something that showed that the Solari and Lunari were once together and, you know, friendly and everything like that. So I don't know. If anything happens to either of these people's lore, it would be very interesting, because I don't know what they could do with them right now. They're very much still at a standstill, what, like 11 years plus now. I don't see the Solari and Lunari ever coming together unless there is. This would be the time, right? The time that they would come together is if there's a threat on Targon, say Aurelian Soul, right? Or say the Voidborn, right? Like if there's a common enemy, you could totally see these two tribes possibly coming together. And I would love to actually see that at some point. But League of Legends and Riot might kind of keep them separate for now. I know the MMO, there was some like thing recently that said they're kind of going in the dark on the MMO, and they're not going to really say anything about the MMO anymore for the time being. They're still working on it and stuff like that. But I could definitely see them like just keeping the Solari and the Lunari separate, like especially in that kind of game, because in MMORPGs they always like to keep like separate factions and things like that. And I could totally see them like making it where like if you're in the Mount Targon area of the MMO, they might have you like choose what side you want to be on, the Solari or the Lunari, and then you have to do quests and stuff like that. I know I'm just kind of babbling about that, but that's kind of what I see as the Solari and Lunari in this world of Runeterra. They're probably not going to come together, but who knows? I mean, listen, I'm going to be a little, I don't want to say I'm biased, but I do want to say I think I like Diana better. I align more with Diana's way of thinking, right? Throughout this whole reaction, I kept saying Leona was kind of stubborn, and she is a little bit stubborn, but Diana's not completely, like, the way she goes about things isn't completely right either. But you know what I mean? I feel like I do like Diana a little bit better, but to be honest, I think I actually liked a lot of Leona's skins a little bit better than Diana's. I keep saying they were both their names, trying to say both their names all the time throughout this reaction. I keep saying one or the other each time, and it's kind of frustrating. But, you know, there's certain things that I liked about both of them, right? So Diana's Crescent Blade is freaking awesome. Leona's Shield and Zenith Blade is also freaking awesome. I think I like the golden armor on Leona maybe a little bit better than just like Diana's regular silver armor. But then there's like some crazy good Diana skins, you know what I mean? So voice line wise, I think they were pretty even in my opinion. Throughout the reaction, I kept saying they were basically saying the same thing, but for their certain faction, right? Like the sun rises and then Diana would say the moon rises, or you know what I mean? Like they would just say the same thing basically. So I thought they were pretty even in the voice line department. Skin department, still pretty close. Story and biography, you know, I will say the Leona story was pretty badass. And then we had the Rise With Me story, which was really cool to actually get in deep on their inner thoughts when they were younger, and then how close they actually got. They kissed, they were kind of a thing, and then the whole aspect thing happened. And now they're very much, you know, they miss each other. They have to miss like how things were back in the day. All right, guys, if there is anything I missed throughout this reaction, I'm very sorry. I tried to find as much as I could on, you know, every little thing that I could, but I am probably going to miss something. So if that's the case, you can let me know in the comments and maybe I'll try to get to them later on in the future. But it is very hard to catch everything for each champion in League of Legends, but I try my best. All right, if you enjoyed this reaction, please leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. I've been doing these League of Legends reactions now for quite a while and they're really fun. I really like doing them. We're going to keep going through all the champions in League of Legends. We'll eventually catch up and probably do them all at some point. So, all right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.